Hi. I'm hoping the light's not too much on me because wrinkles, bags, everything, as you can see, I operated on. Not allowed to wear any makeup for at least a week, possibly two. Hi, Nathan. I can actually read what you're writing today. Hi, Ginger. So I look a bit of a bonny one today. It felt funny not being able to spray my hair, not being able to put any makeup on. I can't put anything near my eyes at all. Hi, Jeannie. So it just feels really funny. We went out for a meal today. My niece came and brought her mum, my sister-in-law, and we went out for a meal at lunchtime. And it felt really funny not to, at least put my face on, put a bit of makeup on or something. Yeah. Hi, Marshall. So it did feel a bit weird not being able to dress up. Hi, Ethan. So I feel a bit underdressed, if you know what I mean. Don't think I've ever appeared without my eye makeup on before, but I'm banned from wearing it. It's something to do with if I get fibres in my eyes or if I put mascara on, I couldn't clean it off. Yeah. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Ethan. Hi, June. It went okay. I was worrying about nothing really. It wasn't pleasant. I won't say it was pleasant. Yeah, you're the first commentator every week. It's usually Chris, but he's slacking lately. Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's not pleasant, having somebody coming towards your eyes, Um, I was terrified like of sort of blinking and spoiling the operation. But it turned out quite well. The surgeon was really, really lovely. He told me all what he was doing at every stage, and yeah, he just made me feel at ease. I was terribly, terribly nervous before I went in, but like they said, that's understandable. I mean, they don't give you sedation of any shape or form. They just sedate your eye, by dripping things in your eye. Hi, Enid. But by and large, it was over quite quickly, actually. I had to wait to have the op done, but that was because they were running behind. Something had happened. I don't know. Didn't want to know what had happened, what had gone wrong, but something had happened, so they were running behind. And I would say maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. That's all it sort of took. Yeah, and then you're back out again with this plastic thingamajiggle over your eye. They don't put a patch on it. They just put this see-through, like a shell patch thing. Um, Hi, Jean. It. I was a bit sort of dizzy when I first came off the operating. Well, it's not an operating table, is it really? Because you're in your clothes, you don't get changed or anything. I was really a bit dizzy. I think it was because of the lopsidedness, because like one eye can see now and the other eye can't. So it has been giving me a headache. Hi, John. Um, that's the bit I don't like really is the constant feeling of a headache. I think it's because it's visual disturbance because you're seeing it two different. Your brain's a bit confused, if you know what I mean. You see them with one eye perfectly clear, and you see them with the other eye dull, darker, and fuzzy. So, like, my brain is having to compute the difference between the two things. But by and large, yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm waiting for the next one to get done. Can't wait. Then I can see at both levels at the same time. So that should be nice, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my niece came today with her mum, my sister-in-law, and we went out for lunch. I got treated for lunch. It's not my birthday till another 5 days, but they can't come next weekend, so they came this weekend. All my sister-in-law kept saying was, "Oh, it's so cold. It's so windy. It's so cold." And I didn't realise how much I must have acclimatised, like to the wind and the rain and the what I've got. Because although it was a bit annoying because it was raining, I wasn't really bothered. Yeah. Why don't they do them both together? Um, they do sometimes, but this clinic doesn't. Yeah. Um, maybe it's in case something goes wrong. That very small chance that something goes wrong with these ops. But if something did go wrong, at least I've got one eye I can see sort of out of. Yeah. I think that's probably why they only do it once. I was talking to a lady actually when I was out shopping. It's my daughter-in-law's birthday on Monday, so I had to nip out to get her a card and that. And I was talking to a lady, and she just had both eyes, well, a second eye done. And she was saying how wonderful it was, and she could see everything and everything. So I thought, oh, hope for me yet. I'm just so glad. I was like, I can see across the road. I can see the houses across the road. Anyway, my son went out and actually cleaned the window because the window, we'd had a bit of a wind sandstorm and it had chucked a lot of stuff all over the window. And he cleaned the window and I went, oh, I can see even better now. I hadn't realised that the window was like mucky because of all the sand. We had a sandstorm apparently that blew everything up. Yeah. So I was quite excited. I can't quite make out the registration numbers of the cars in the drive across the road, but I can see they've got a registration number and I can see the cars. And I'm like, I can see. You don't realise how little you can see until you can see again. Yeah. Um, I mean, mine must have been sort of, fading a bit at a time. So I didn't really realise it didn't suddenly go blurred. It must have been going blurred for a while. So you don't kind of, realise until it all happens. Yeah. So, so I've just had myself a banana on fruit bread because I didn't really want any dinner tonight. Family are going out tomorrow for their dinner. My ex-husband's coming up with his other partner. So obviously I don't want to go for a meal with them. So I said, I'll look after Rosie while you all go out for a meal. So they're going for a meal tomorrow lunchtime. And I'd rather stay home and look after the dog. Hi, Henry. It will be, Jean, when I get the other eye done. They said approximately 6 weeks. So it'll probably be after Christmas now. Because I've got to go back to the opticians in 4 weeks to get it checked over to make sure that it's been a success. Because you don't go back to the clinic here, you go to the opticians to get it all checked out. Hi, Ella. So as I say, tomorrow my ex-husband's calling, but obviously he's calling to see my son, not me, and he's bringing my daughter-in-law her birthday present. So they'll go out for lunch and I'll look after Rosie. Oh, Rosie was funny today. She batted her ball. We were playing with the ball and she batted it under the sofa. Oh, it's only a little gap like that under the sofa. I was trying my best with the back scratcher, but I had to ask my daughter-in-law in the end because she was just whining, crying and scratching the sofa. So she managed to retrieve it from underneath the sofa. But she's getting a lot better with me now, Rosie. She's getting to know me a lot better. So, we shall see what we shall see. Yeah. Nathan, one of our friends, French bulldog, has had puppies. And they're trying their best to persuade us to buy one. So I don't know whether or not we might be joining you, Nathan, with a French bulldog. A puppy. One never knows. So we may have two puppies. Apparently they're going to go and visit and see these puppies, so whether they'll get swayed into buying one, I don't know. Hi, Chris. My eye, look, look, look. Bags underneath it, but apart from that, it's fine. I'm not allowed to wear makeup, which is why I look a fright. Hi, Shad. Would I like another puppy? It's not me who has to deal with them, Ella. So I just get the good bit. I just get the playing with the puppies. I don't get the having to train them and all the mopping up and all that stuff. I don't have to do that. Yeah. So I don't mind if we have another puppy. We've always had two dogs. Yeah. So and they are cute. French bulldogs are cute. So yeah. So I don't know whether we will or we won't. So it's not a given. So don't ask me if we got one. Hi, Shad. Red and black today. Red and black. Yeah, no, I don't have anything to do with puppies except the nice bit because they like to train them to their, to sit, stand, stay, do all that jazz. I mean, Rosie is really good. We're not having any accidents. I think we had one accident when she was on heat, but a peg from her nose. Why are they a bit? Oh, Rosie's terrible. Rosie's got wind in the willows. Something shocking for such a little dog. But she spends most of her time upstairs, so I don't get that bit. I don't get the awful bit. I must admit, when Rosie does that, it's like something's died. She's quite pungent. Yeah, I'm just still making hats because I really haven't been able to concentrate on anything. Um, I'd started doing Christmas decorations, as you know, and I got fed up because we won't be having a Christmas fair. It's too soon, and I can't do it because I can't. I didn't know how I'd be. I can't bend down. I'm not to bend down because it puts pressure on your eye. So, it's a bit difficult to do things. Family were laughing at me because I'm not supposed to get water in my eye. So, shampooing my hair, supposed to do it backwards, no soap, no nothing. So, I bought some goggles. Me who doesn't swim. I've got swimming goggles to wear in the shower. Well, I thought if I've not got to get soap in my eye for a couple of weeks, and then when this eye heals, they'll be doing that eye. So I thought a tenner, £10 for a pair of goggles is money well spent to me in my. That meant I was able to shampoo away and not worry about anything like trickling down my face and going in my eye. Yeah. So I'm there with me. And the reflective, I look very swish, reflective. Yeah. I have to wear my son's motorbike goggles while I'm going out because I don't like any wind in my eye. Yeah. Look, Rosie can do enough of that, Nathan, without any help from a French bulldog. We may not have it. It's just a thought. It's only in the discussion stage at the moment. It depends how much they want for these puppies, yeah. No, I didn't get the matching flippers. I'm not that bad in the shower that I need flippers, yeah. I do have a seat, mind you, in my shower because the shower tray is a little bit slidey, even with a mat on it. So I got a special shower chair so that I can sit down so I don't have any fear of falling. Yeah. So that solved that problem. But I don't need flippers. Yeah. It's funny, I used to be able to swim. Not well, but I used to be able to swim. After I had my back fixed, my centre of balance was gone. And about 8, 9 years ago, I went to Skiathos, a Greek island. And the lad there that was we'd gone to see his wedding blessing. He said, "Come in the sea. Can you swim?" "Oh, yes," I said, "I can swim." Well, every time I tried to swim, I went nose down. I was like one of those rocking dolls, like whoomp. And he said, "I thought you said you could swim." I said, "I thought I could. I just couldn't swim anymore." I've not tried in a pool since then because I don't want to embarrass myself by getting in the pool and having to go in the baby pool, yeah? You're shutting down for the winter, the log burner. Our log burner is set up. It's actually got the heating on today. And I've got my woolly jumper on, as you can see, my thick jumper. I didn't have this on when I went out for a meal. I had a nicer top on. But when I got back in, I was a bit chilly. My sister-in-law, she was frozen and she's going, "Oh, you're too near the sea. It's too windy. It's too this. Oh, it's frightening seeing that sea. Oh, look how near the sea is." And I'm saying, "It's just high tide. So it's not near at all. It's just high tide." She was panicking away there. "Oh, it's too close to the sea for me. Too close." I said, "It's not going to come over the wall." I said, "We've got good sea defences. It's not coming over." But she wasn't convinced. Yeah. I don't think she'll ever be living by the seaside. So, but I've just sent a message to the lady who's I'm making a hat. It's a bit weird, this hat. All the colour changes in it. Um, it's some. Oh, I'm not supposed to bend down. It's some wool I had in the shed. It's ice yarn. It's quite thick. So I just had a couple of balls of it. So I thought I'm just going to make a hat. It's too thick to make a shawl out of it. My eye up went very well, Connie. Thank you. I can see out of one eye now. I can actually see what people are typing without having to go like that. So you don't have to see a close up of my wrinkles anymore. Yeah, it's a free pattern. It's called the Divine Hat. I've made quite a few because I know how to do the pattern without having to look. I have done a couple of other hats just with bits and bats. I just did that one, and that was the other half of the ball, which was shaded from dark to light. It's just a plain hat. I thought if they don't go anywhere, there's always a homeless, isn't there? This one, I think it might look better if I washed it. It wouldn't be quite so wrinkly looking, if you know what I mean. I mean, the pattern I'm doing now is nice, but it's not a man's pattern. It's a bit lacy for a man's pattern. I've been looking online, looking for different hat patterns. I even went through all my patterns. Well, not all of my pattern books, not the ones in the shed because I didn't want to go out there. But the books I have. I have so many books, honestly. I was getting confused with them all, there's so many. And I'm like, I can't remember buying half of them. Hi, Bobby. I'm looking at them like thinking, when did I buy this book? I don't know whether you've all got tons of books. I've got tons and tons of books. I had this thing, I had to have every book that came out, except for things that were blankets and stuff like that. But if it was a garment book, I had to have it. If it was a hat book, I had to have it, yeah. So, yeah. I've got everybody at Knit Club making Christmas decorations out of those Indian bangles. Anyway, I must have ordered some more bangles in my sleep because some more arrived the other day. And has Ross got... I think I've got Ross's pattern, but that one of them's a knitted pattern, isn't it? I only crochet, if you remember, Shad. I'm still trying to finish that knitted hat. It's awful, really, because my stocking stitch is terrible. because the stitches kept bouncing off the needle. So I've really gone off that now. I wouldn't want to give that hat to anybody. Maybe the homeless if they want to wear a bright, jazzy hat. Who knows? I would have thought they want to be more camouflaged, though, you know what I mean? I would have thought they want to stand out, if you know what I mean. I have got Ross's pattern. I think that's the one I actually started knitting. I've seen the one that Fibre Spider and other people have done. It's the one that's like a waffle stitch. But I have to practice it when I can actually concentrate on what I'm doing, Bobby, because I've not been concentrating very well at the moment because I couldn't see. I can see now. So it was a bit difficult for me with anything with a pattern. I was more or less, crocheting blind, if you know what I mean. Yeah. There are some lovely hats. Some of them, though, you look on Ravelry and it says the pattern is free. So you look at the pattern and it actually says it's £5, or you go on their web page. But when you go on their web page, all these things keep flashing up for cookies and rubbish and all that jazz, and that really annoys me. So, subscribe or what. So I just won't do it. I just click off it again. I have, Connie. I can see across the road. I can see the houses across the road. It is making me have a bad headache, though, Connie, because the other eye needs doing. So my brain's trying to compute, seeing at two different levels. Yeah, it's like clickbait, Jean, and I don't like it when they keep saying, do this, do that, do the other. And I'm thinking, no, I don't want to subscribe to you. I just want to look at this flipping app pattern. Yeah, I must admit, I don't like the crochet crowd. Sorry and all that, but he gets on my nerves. I can't listen to him. He makes me want to screech. I could read the tutorial now. I can see. Hi, Pauline, anyway. Oh, you're climbing the stairs. Oh, you'll be able to put your bed back upstairs very soon, yeah. It might do, Chris. It might. I'll have to crochet myself a pirate patch, won't I? I remember doing that once when I had we call them a sty. I don't know what you call them. We have a thing that comes on your eyelid that's like a mini boil or whatever you call it. I had one of those once. And that was giving me a headache because it was hanging down in my vision. So I did crochet myself an eye patch one time, but I looked a right body one. I did not look like Pirates of the Caribbean. I didn't have the same, is it, panache that Johnny Depp had. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just like having a permanent dull headache, is how I would say. I don't like keep swallowing paracetamol, but that's the way it sort of is at the minute. All these hats I keep making. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I've got about 5 in the shed now. But as I said, if all else fails, they can always go to charity. They always want hats, don't they? Yeah. She loves it. She hasn't picked it up yet, Ginger, the coat. I sent her photographs of it. Yeah. A date for my next eye? No, probably about 6 weeks, they said. But I've got to go to the opticians to have my right eye checked over. And then, oh dear, that doesn't sound good, Bobby. Having not been able to see very well for the short length of time, I have every sympathy for somebody who has bad eyesight now. It was so infuriating having to not see things. And like, it's not an obvious thing, is it, when you can't see? It's not like you've got a leg hanging off or your arm in plaster and everybody gets sympathy for you. You know, when you can't see, it's just like, well, what's the matter with you? You know, it's not visible. It's like being deaf, isn't it? It's not visible. Um, you know, you don't have a dog and you don't have a cane, do you? You know, so just, you know, when you can't see, people don't realise you can't see. And, you know, you're walking past people that you should know. People are going, hello, and you're thinking, who's that? Yeah. My main thing was the TV. I got so cross because I could see the TV, I could see the people on it. But every time I wanted to change channel, I couldn't read any of the writing that told me what the next program was or anything. I was having to come on the computer and type up. Um, no, I couldn't wear my glasses, Susan. I couldn't see through them at all. Yeah, I couldn't see through them. And my prescribed glasses, it was like they were somebody else's. Funnily enough, I was talking to a little lady today, no, yesterday. She had a lovely little dog. It was called Daisy, a little Shih Tzu. I was talking to her, and she, you know, she was saying the same thing, that she couldn't see at all, and they won't give you glasses until you've had both your eyes done. And she was saying, like, she was like, trying to see, you know, and she had glasses that she'd had from the opticians, and she said it was like wearing somebody else's. I said, yeah, no, I've got the feeling. Yeah. I did find my reading glasses from before. If you want to see me wearing my glasses, can't see a thing through them. I can actually see the little writing on my phone with them, but I can't even see. It's like gone back to not being able to see again. And those were my prescribed glasses. Yeah. Oh yeah, how's your dog, Shad? I know it wasn't very well, was it? I see Miguel seems to have adopted a cat, doesn't he? Oh, it's awful, isn't it, when they get old, Shad? I know the feeling. I was heartbroken when I lost Poppy. It's just, you wish they'd live forever, don't you? You do, honestly. But sadly, they don't, and it's awful. It's like losing a member of the family, isn't it? People keep saying, oh, it's just a dog, what you crying for, or it's just a cat. It's not, it's part of your family. Oh, cats do that, Chris. Cats do adopt people. You never own a cat owns you. You know, both of my cats adopted me. I never went out and got either of them, yeah. Yeah, Bobby, that's what they say. I might need reading glasses. The only thing I find is the little text on my phone I can't see very well. And sometimes if I'm a bit tired, it's a bit blurry, yeah. Hi, Nana Michelle. Squirrel Raid. Hi, everybody. We have got a squirrel. It's getting cheeky. We've got a bird feeder, yeah. And we've got a squirrel now that's so cheeky, and it sits on the fence and looks in the kitchen window at my daughter-in-law, yeah. Yeah, my cat, I never owned my cat. He was literally the cat that walked by himself, yeah. He put up with me because I used to feed him. And he put up with me because I had a radiator when it was cold and he used to come in. But apart from that, he couldn't have cared less. He was out in the street and he was anybody's cat. Everybody kept saying, oh, is that your cat? It's been in our house all day. I said, I wondered where he was. Yeah, open door, warm radiator, food. He wasn't a bit loyal. Cats aren't. Cats go wherever somebody feeds them. If Miguel's putting food down for that cat, he owns it now. It's adopted him. Yeah. He'll be giving it a name next, yeah. Oh, the birds, they're like Alfred Hitchcock round here if you feed them. Starlings. They come. I wondered what on earth the noise was, and then I realised it was my daughter-in-law feeding the birds. Luckily, the seagulls haven't cottoned on that there's food there yet. But the squirrel obviously has. But she hasn't filled it up for a little while because of the dog. You know, the bits kept dropping on the floor, and the dog kept barking at the birds. So I don't think she's filled it up for a while. But this squirrel's getting cheeky. Mind you, when I lived at my other house, a squirrel used to come and tap on the patio door. He used to drive Gigi mad. Buster had passed away by this time, but Gigi used to be on the other side of the on the side of the window. Gigi was going potty. I'm doing very well, thank you, Esther. Yeah. There's not many magpies round here. There are a couple. Where I lived before, I was inundated with magpies. But here, it's seagulls. Although people who are bird people said there's no such thing as a seagull. It's got another name. It's not a seagull. But everybody calls them seagulls. So I don't know what kind of gulls they are. But apparently they're not seagulls. But you can't feed them round here. Oh, Gigi used to go potty. Yeah. I wish I could see the two new babies, Bertie and Lena, that, the parents have got now that Gigi's passed away. They've got two new puppies, two Chihuahua puppies. They look like long-haired ones, though. I've only seen a picture of them. And I don't know which is the girl and which is the boy. He just sent me two pictures. And but they look so cute. Yeah. I rarely hear the seagulls now. When I first came here, I thought, oh, this noise is going to drive me bonkers. Every day I could hear these seagulls. But no, I don't even hear them. Unless they're really making a racket, yeah. But, yeah, they're fine. Oh, it's a bit of a strange coloured hat, isn't it? Somebody might like it. You call them tree rats. I know some people don't like squirrels, but I think they're cute. They're grey squirrels, of course, here. We do have some red squirrels, but I think they're up in Scotland. I don't think we've got red squirrels around here. The grey squirrels, sadly, got rid of all the red ones. Yeah. Yeah, some people call them vermin, but I like squirrels. As I say, we used to have one. I used to have one all the time in my garden, much to the annoyance of Gigi. Buster never bothered about the squirrel. He wasn't phased by it at all. But Gigi, oh, he used to go potty. And if I opened the patio door, he never caught it, obviously. I mean, plumbing at the squirrel was as big as Gigi, yeah. Yeah, the red squirrels are beautiful, aren't they? Formby's the nearest for red squirrels. I know there's none around here as far as I know. We have foxes. I've not seen any in our garden, but in the area we've got foxes because we have a local chat group. That talks about seeing the foxes. Yeah. So, ooh, oh, sorry about that. I had enough sleep, believe me. Because of the headache, I've been having to take paracetamol. Um, and so I've been zonking out for the count when I go to bed. I've been like, woof, gone. And he said to me, I bet you didn't have any breakfast this morning. I went, no. I said I didn't. Because I didn't get up till 10 o'clock. So I thought, no, I daren't eat otherwise. I've got a small appetite. For somebody who's a big girl like me, you think I would be stuffing my face all day long, and I'm not. I couldn't eat. I had a small dinner. There was a small dinner and a large dinner, and I ordered a small one. And I'm glad I did. Because I would have never made the big dinner. I had to leave the chips or French fries or whatever you want to call them. I couldn't eat them. It was too much. People eat them. Oh no, I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat a squirrel. No, there's a lot of things I couldn't eat. It's only because I'm not used to eating them, I presume. If I lived in a country where people did eat them, I probably would eat them. But to me, it's like, oh no, I'm not eating it. Yeah, your cats own you. They do. You don't own a cat, John. Your cat would sling its hook if it felt like it. You are ruled by your cat, John, whether you like it or you don't. Cats are very fickle creatures. You know, dogs are like, wait, everybody's come home. Cats are like, oh shit, and they go and hide behind the curtain. You never get a cat running up to see the kids coming home from school. Nope. The cat goes and hides behind the chair. Yeah. I bet your cat never comes to greet you, does it, when you come in through the door? Your dog would. Your dog would come up wagging its tail, but the cat just goes the opposite way. You only see the cat if you rattle the food bowl. My cat used to greet me when I came through the door, but only because he was like, meow, 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 pointing to the food bowl, meow. If I came in at any other time when it wasn't food time, he just ignored me. I do like cats, yeah, but I can't have one because we've got a terrier and they're hunters. So if we got a cat or a kitten, it would probably. Next door's cat doesn't come in the garden anymore. It used to brave it when we had Poppy. It used to brave walking through the garden. Not seen hide nor hair of it since we got Rosie. Hi, Granny D. Hi, Squirrel Raid. We're talking about squirrels, by the way, Granny D. Your video is 8 minutes behind. Oh dear. You're lagging behind, John. Yeah. I wonder how Ben Ben is with his funfair. Wonder how he's doing. He said the people he works for were going to Dubai, but he missed out. He didn't get invited to go. That would have been nice for him, wouldn't it? If he'd have gone to Dubai. Poor Ben, having to stay in the UK. La 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 la. Well, it's a bit of a weird hat, this, isn't it? All the shades of the rainbow. And I've not striped any of it. A house has gone up for sale on the seafront near here. I'm waiting to see how many days it stays for sale. Usually the average is about 3. The houses here just go boom. They sell like that. Boom. Everybody seems to want to live here. Well, in this little bit anyway. La 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 la. Huh. Yeah, I love squirrels. I can't understand why people don't like them and call them vermin. Not having that. They're not vermin. They're pretty little things with tails. I'm on the ribby bit on the end of the hat now, and then I finished another hat. Yeah, the houses round here, they don't stay on the market for 2 seconds. Yeah, a friend of mine used to have pet rats. I can't say I really took to them. She got said, "Oh, they're really lovely. They're really, yeah, well, yeah, keep them over there, thank you." Oh, don't go out if it's cold, Granny D. No, you'd have to put your thicker knickers on if you go out today. Fleecy tights are the wonder of the world, I tell you. Can't beat a pair of fleecy tights underneath your trousers. Yeah. Hi, Jeanette. I got my name changed at the clinic. They call me Jeanette at the clinic. I answered to it, though I'm not rude. As long as they don't call me a rude name, I answer to most things, yeah. Oh, yeah, fleecy lined. I can't wear leggings. I'm obviously, not in that age group and not in the size group of leggings, yeah. But fleecy lined tights to wear underneath your trousers are the way to go. I'm in the fortunate position, you see, I've lost so much weight that all my trousers are baggy. So that there's room for a pair of tights underneath them, if you know what I mean. Because I've still got the same size trousers I had when I was like 2 stone, which is like 28 pound heavier. Yeah. Yeah, I went out today. I couldn't get a Christmas tree that I want. I want a slim Christmas tree because we haven't got a lot of room in here. I managed to get some Christmas tree baubles and some tinsel, but I haven't got the tree. I've ordered a nativity because sadly, the nativity I had from when I was a child, I accidentally threw it away when we were moving. I was like, oh yeah, I don't want a Christmas tree. Yeah, I don't want the bubbles. And I threw it away. I was so upset. I'd had it from being whenever. From when I was born, I think I'd had this nativity. So I was really sad about that. So I've ordered a new one on eBay. Ordered a new nativity. I like my nativity. I got a Father Christmas. I didn't show you him, did I? I got him today. Oh, where is he? He's hiding behind the curtain. If I can get him. Come here, Father Christmas. Oh no, that's the elephant. I nearly showed you the elephant instead. Let's see if I can reach Father Christmas. Come here, Father Christmas. He's not traditional because he's silver. There he is, Father Christmas. I bought him today. He's silver. with little silver twinkles. And he's got a sack with some presents in. He was really cheap, actually. He's even got glasses on. Can you see? He's got little glasses on. They had reindeer and everything. I might go back. They had reindeer and they had little glass things like with penguins and everything on. And when you switched them on, they played little tunes. And I'm like, oh, my son would go bonkers. He thinks I'm crackers. And I got fairy light. I want some fairy lights for the window as well. I didn't decorate this last Christmas because we'd only just moved in. And I hadn't got any decorations anyway because I'd thrown them all away. So it's nice to start all over again. I could have got him in red, but I decided to get him in silver instead. There you go. Stay there, Father Christmas. Oh, no, he won't stand up now. No, I'll have to put him on the chair. Just hope that Rosie doesn't take a fancy to him and drag him all around the garden. Otherwise, that'll be the end of Father Christmas. Oh, ow, that was my knee. Oh, dearie me. What put a year on my life? Banging my knee. It was my fake knee as well, but it still hurt. Oh. Hey, hello, darling. Well, my brother's family, they're planning their Christmas. I'm not doing it this year because it would mean me going all the way over to Manchester. I've got nowhere to stay when I go there. So that would mean that somebody would have about an hour and a half journey to pick me up, an hour and a half journey to take me back. So, no, I'm not going to bother. I don't know what we're doing here for Christmas. No doubt we'll do something. No doubt we'll have family at some stage. Maybe not Christmas Day because the children like to stay home and play with their toys Christmas Day. Maybe we'll see them Boxing Day. I don't know. So I don't know what you're all doing for your Christmases. But it'll be, I should imagine it'd be quieter. Last year was very, very quiet because it was lockdown, COVID. Nobody could come and visit. Nobody could do anything. Why do I keep flashing? Don't know. I can keep seeing it going flashing across the screen. Unless it's just me. So last year, it was very, very quiet. Christmas. So I don't know whether you've all got big Christmases planned. Mm. I was thinking about, oh gosh, the lady who loved the nutcrackers and stuff. They had, it's still flashing across the screen. The shop I went to get Father Christmas had loads of these nutcracker men, whatever they are, nutcracker soldiers, yeah. Hello, Proverbs. It was flashing, was it? I thought it was me. Why it's flashing, I have no idea. Yeah, they had loads of these nutcracker people, And I was thinking, oh, that's Jean, yeah. Hi, Lydia. I'm fine. Thank you very much. I've got to go back to that shop. I've got to get some more stuff. Yeah, I've got to get some more things. I want some light up things to stick on the window, I might as well go completely bonkers, Last year, nobody lit anything up in the street. I was quite amazed. There was no fairy lights. There was no anything. But I think it was probably because of, the way it was with the COVID and all that jazz. I think people just, didn't bother much last year. So we'll see whether they do decorate. When I was going along like last year, um, there was no trees in the garden, no Christmas lights, no anything last year. So I'm hoping people have a bit more and decorate this year. I'm not saying we'll decorate the outside of the house, but I want to put things in the window, some fairy lights in the window. I love my fairy lights. Yeah. I have fairy lights across my she shed. I've lost the little zapper. It's in my bedroom somewhere. I'll need to hunt for it. I can't turn them on anymore because I can't find the zapper. Very sad. Very sad. Well, that's a bit of a weirdy hat, isn't it? A bit of a weird coloured hat. Well, never mind. I'm just passing my time, to be quite honest with you. The only thing I can concentrate on at the minute is a hat, yeah. Yeah. It's just a strange colour, Lydia, really, isn't it? I haven't chose it. It's the way that the wool changed from one colour to another colour to another colour. It's finished up with, it looks brown there, but it's actually like an olive green at the bottom. Yeah, somebody might like it. Who knows? As I say, I can make hats well. No, it's the Divine hat. It's a free hat pattern. If you know Fiber Spider, he does a tutorial on YouTube, and so does somebody else. They do a free pattern. It's called the Divine Hat. If you look it up, it's dead easy to do. Dead easy. Your Floridian family is coming. Oh, clean up your house. I wish mine looked like a yarn shop exploded. Yeah. I just sent a message off to that lady who's going to help me make that web page, to get a few things sold, because when I sell them, I'll be able to pay off my credit card for my scooter. Ooh, if I sell a few things. A family that cleans house, yeah. I'm hoping to see Sue before Christmas. I'm sure she'll come down because she'll come down to see her kids. I'm sure she will. So she might pop in on her way past, hopefully. Because I would like to see her again before Christmas. I'm determined I'm going up to see her next year, though. I'm determined, absolutely determined. So I'm going to do that. See Bonnie Scotland. Take my camera, yeah. I'll make her do a video. I won't be able to take my tripod with me, I don't think, but I can take my camera. I'll make her do a video whether she wants to or not. She's got a garden with all fruit trees and vegetables in and everything. So I should get some nice homemade pies or something. 6, 8, 10, 11. Now I need at least 15. 12, 13, 14. Oh gosh, yeah. Well, I'm thinking there's no more variation in everything. It makes you wonder what they're going to whack us with next. Is this COVID ever going to go away? I was stuck with it for ever and a day. You know, it's getting a bit tedious now. It's time it went. It's time they found a cure for it and banished it. End of story. But while we've got people who won't get vaccinated, then it's still going to carry on, isn't it? Hey ho. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'm trying to do a ribbed hat. Hi, BB. How you doing? Yeah, I'm trying to do a ribby hat now. I looked at it before on the video, but of course I've talked to you since then, so I've forgotten. Yeah. Has anybody heard from Kaz, whether she's okay? Not really seen her since she started working. Has anybody seen her or heard from her? She does say hello to me on Facebook. She's called Carol, yeah. Oh, you've made lasagna. Oh, goodness, that's my idea. I looked at quite a few hat videos, and there's a lady who does really gorgeous hats, but she uses that super thick wool and massive hook. I can't use the really big hook. I can't grip round them. You know, I'm no good with them. You know, this is about as big as I can go, which is about a, oh, I can't see it, 550 or a 6 millimeter. I can't use those, 8 millimeter, 10 millimeter hooks. I can't use them. Oh, BB's making a cardi. Good luck, good luck. You had your booster shot, yeah. Hi, Marva. How are you doing? I'm very well, dear, and how are you? Yeah. Hopefully, we're all okay on here today. Oh, now, do I go around that or do I not? No, I don't think I do. Maybe I do. I don't know. Who knows? I'm improvising. Yeah. Olga Poltava. Oh, thank you, Proverbs. I don't feel it today because I can't put makeup on because I've, had my cataract done and I'm not allowed to wear makeup for at least a week. I've just got a message. What does it say? Oh, it was Nathan going thumbs up. That must be an old message, Nathan. Oh, dear. Yeah, I feel really sort of unfinished. Normally, I like a bit of makeup on, a bit of whatever. Do my hair, put hairspray on. I can't put hairspray on because I can't get anything in my eye. Anything like gritty or anything that sprayy, I have to be so careful with. So I couldn't put lacquer on it. Couldn't put setting lotion on it. Couldn't do anything. Yeah. Olga Poltava. She sounds very sort of Polish or whatever. I don't know what Poltava is, but it does sound a bit that way. Tell you, some of those Russian and Polish girls, my goodness me, they can crochet up a storm. I used to follow a lady on, don't know where it was now. Was it Facebook or was it, might have been Ravelry. She could crochet the dickens. She was so good and so fast. Yeah. Some of the work they do, these, like I don't know what you call them. You know, Russia, Poland, those kind of Czech, those kind of people. What do you call them? They've got a name for them, haven't you? Ukrainians, yeah, they are such good crafters. And they're so fast as well. Slavic, that's the word, yeah. And have you seen the embroidery some of them do? Oh boy. You know, they're so talented. They must be brought up at their mother's knee to do all that sort of thing, yeah. You're watching Stephen West knitting shawl. I can't get interested in knitting really, baby. I used to do it all the time, but I can't now because it really hurts my shoulders. My niece went to Bath. There's a place in England called Bath. And she went in the most gorgeous wool shop there. She said, absolutely fantastic wool shop. And it was a wool shop, not a yarn shop. It was a wool shop. And she bought a pattern there for a cardigan, and it's done on a circular needle. And she's never knitted on a circular needle. Now, normally when she starts something, she doesn't finish it. It finishes up with me. And I said, don't be giving it me. I said, I can't cope with a wiggly worm. You know, I can't knit. I just cannot knit free at all. Yeah, I just can't. So I said to her, it's no good you giving it me. I can't do it. So she stuck with it. I've never been able to knit free. I've always had to have a needle under my arm. So I'm useless with anything. And nearly everything that's from the US that's knitted is top down on a circular needle. That rules me out completely. Can't do them. That's why I like my vintage patterns. Back, front, two sleeves. Sew it all together. Great. Fantastic. That's my kind of garment, yeah. I can't knit on a circular. I can't knit down here. I just can't. It's probably the way I was taught. I mean, when you think that I started knitting at the age of 5 on 2 needles with one underneath my armpit, it's very, very difficult at the age of almost 76 next week, thank you, to suddenly change into knitting like down here somewhere. Yeah, when I come on here next week, I'll be 76. I want to call a halt on time. Thank you very much. We're not going into that. Oh, everybody holds a crochet hook differently, dear. I wouldn't let it worry you at all. It never worries me. Oh, thank you, Ginger. It never worries me. I always say to people, you just crochet the way that you're happy. You hold your hook the way that you're happy. I flick my yarn one way. That doesn't mean to say it's the right way. I would never tell anybody. I hate it when people say, oh, you're holding your hook the wrong way. No, you're not holding your hook the wrong way. Oh, you're holding the yarn the wrong way. No, you're not. You're just holding it the way you're comfortable with. And that's the way I see it. And I hate people who start being pedantic, saying, no, you've got to do it this way. You've got to do it that way. My way is the best way. Yeah, yeah. Just because I hold my yarn and my hook this way doesn't mean it's right. It's just the way I've evolved. I can hear music. There's probably somebody in the street with a car radio on. Oh, next door's teenagers were having a ding dong with somebody. I didn't go out. They were just having a bit of a shouting match. Yelling at each other. You know what teenagers are like. I thought, I'm not getting involved. Oh, gosh, everybody's got their own theory, but I would never, ever say to people that I was right and they were wrong. I think that is so big-headed. They must think that they're it if they start telling people, oh no, you're doing it wrong. You'll never do it if you do it that way. Yeah, yeah. Stick your beak out. Stick it out. If you can crochet, you can get from one end of the row to the other end of the row. Does it really matter? If it makes you happy. To me, crochet is a thing that's a mental thing with me. It makes me happy. And that's why I don't want to crochet anything that doesn't make me happy. If I start something and I don't like the stitch, I don't like the way the wool feels, I don't like the way it is, I have to stop. I won't do it because I always think mentally, for my mental health or whatever you want to call it, I have to feel happy. And if I'm happy doing something, like right now, I'm happy making hats. It's just making me happy making a hat. And I think that is the way that a hobby should make you feel. A hobby should never make you feel that you have to do something or whatever. If you're enjoying a hobby, does it matter? Doesn't even matter if what you're making doesn't turn out right, as long as you're enjoying making it. Some people will say, oh God, my crocheting's not very good, and I've tried to make this and it doesn't come out right. And I'm like, well, did you enjoy making it? Did you enjoy doing it? Well, yeah, I enjoyed it when I was crocheting. I said, well, that's the whole point of it, isn't it? That's why you do it. And that, to me, is the main thing. You have to enjoy what you're doing. So does it really matter? Yeah, it is a therapy, you're right, BB, it is. Crocheting calms me down if I'm getting stressed about something, if I'm feeling a bit uptight about something. My crocheting just, I go in a happy zen. Some people do yoga, some people do meditation. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Ray. If it doesn't work, you just pull it back. Yeah. Oh, Enid, yeah, men can't cope with the common cold, can they? They always think they've got man flu. Nobody suffers like a man with a cold. Oh, tell you, if men have to have babies, there wouldn't be an overpopulated world for sure. If men had to have the babies, they wouldn't even. They might have one, and after one, they wouldn't have any more. Tell you, men are babies, big babies. Women, you just bear things up, don't you? If you've got bad pains that time of the month, you get on with it, don't you? You don't down tools take to your bed and say, I can't cope anymore. You'll have to make the dinner. You get up, don't you? You see to the kids, you make the dinner, you do the washing, cramping over. Yeah. Hello there, Nathan. What is it you wish to know? Did I get any orders? No, I don't want any orders, BB. I definitely don't want orders. I've stopped doing orders. Why do you want to be excused, Nathan? Are you going to make a comment about men? Nathan is sticking his oar out here, saying that men feel the pain. Come on then, Nathan. We're waiting. We're hanging on your every word. Most men are big babies. Oh, yeah, one or two men. How many do you know, Lydia? Most take to their bed with a hot water bottle, don't they? Oh, that's just I bet that theory was put about by a man, Enid, that men feel flu different. No, they're just babies, Enid. Don't pander to them. for just being a baby. Everyone is equal. Oh, right, okay then. Well, you have a baby then, Nathan. You have a baby and then let me know that everybody's equal. I'm sure everyone on here that's given birth will know, I'll let you know. Right. Well, your man is different, that's all I can say. My ex used to take to his bed with the smallest of colds. You don't know what it feels like. No, I've just been to work, done the washing, seen to the kid, done everything with the same cold that you've got. Thank you very much. Yeah, if men had to give birth, I tell you, there wouldn't be any kids in this world. Well, there might be one. Each family would have one. Yeah, I've got a good tolerance for pain. That's why I won't take medication for my back pain. I know other people who are like, wouldn't be able to stand my back pain. I've got told by the hospital I have a very strong threshold for pain. When they're doing things to me and that, and they're going, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Stick a needle in me, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm doing fine. Thank you. I can hear Rosie's collar chinking. No, the eye-op was remarkably painless, really, Lydia. I think I was more scared of it than it was painful, if you know what I mean. Yeah. We don't have things like urgent care. We've got accident and emergency, or we do have walk-in centres in some places. But by and large, we don't have urgent care, whatever that may be. I still haven't seen a doctor. I've been to the hospital and had a colonoscopy. I've been to the clinic and had eye surgery. I've been to the opticians and had my eyes tested, but I still have not seen a doctor because they're still in hiding. Oh, I've got some who Father Christmas. You're right there. She'll gallop off with it. I need to put him somewhere. Everything's got to be on high. Yeah. The vision in my right eye is great, Lydia. The vision in my left eye is rubbish. So I'm getting headaches because I've got the difference in the eyes. Yeah. Broken finger. I've got a broken finger. I've had it for 3 years now. They don't do anything if you go to the hospital. It hurts me. It's got arthritis in it, but you keep on going. What would they do? They'd just tape it to the other finger, wouldn't they? That's all they would do. They don't do anything for a broken finger anymore over here. You don't even get a finger guard like you used to in the old days. They're going to do surgery on the left eye eventually, BB, but I don't know when. Probably in about another 6 weeks. But you've got to have one eye healed up first before they do surgery on the other eye. Yeah. Oh, physical therapy, that's something we don't get in this country unless you pay for it. Yeah. If you go to the hospital over here, they give you a bit of paper with some exercises on and send you home. Gone are the days where they used to do physical therapy. If you want that, you have to go to the physiotherapist over here and pay for it. Yeah, yeah, the NHS is so overstretched, there's just nothing. It sounds accident prone, your husband, Enid. I'd swap him for one that isn't. Tell him to be more careful. He's obviously a walking disaster. My son's recovering from a knee injury. He fell over the dog, came down the stairs, fell over Rosie. She tripped him up. Yeah, I broke my shoulder years ago, and they told me at the hospital it wasn't broken. And I was in agony, couldn't do anything. Finished up paying a fortune for a physiotherapist. And then I did something to it again. And when I went to the hospital, they said, "Oh, you've damaged something over an old fracture. Because it's an old fracture, we can't do anything about it." I went, "Well, this hospital told me I hadn't broken it. I didn't have a fracture." "Oh, well, you definitely did. It's been broken at some stage." No, I've not heard from Kelly. I don't know whether she's working, she's not working, or what she's doing. I keep hoping that she'll put a video out, at least saying what's going on in her life, whether she's working or not. But so far, nothing. And if she's working, I don't know when to ring her, because when you ring her at night, she's upstairs with the lads and she doesn't answer the phone. So I wouldn't know when to ring her for the best time. Somebody sent me another message. Oh, it's just a notification of somebody's video. Crafted by Kelly X, but she's not made a video for a while, a few weeks now. Otherwise, I would have had notification. The last video she made, she was showing a cardigan. I heard from Miguel yesterday. He was asking me how my eye up had gone. So he's still in the land of the living. He's probably busy doing his laundry or something like that. So he was fine. He was fine yesterday, Shad. So I don't know whether anybody's heard from him for today. Don't know. Oh gosh, this is going to be thick. The dog's just come flying down the stairs, followed by my slower son, by the sound of it. I can tell who's coming down the stairs now because my son's so slow because he's hurt his knee. I've got a broken little toe and it's set like that now. So certain shoes really rub it. They make it red. I have to put a band-aid, elastoplaster, whatever you want to call it, over it with certain shoes. Sandals in particular. They always seem to cut right across where my little toe is, yeah. Oh yeah, spraying's worse than a break because with a break they put you in plaster. With a spraying they don't. They just leave you to it. Yeah, that's why I don't do stairs anymore, Enid. I don't do them anymore. I've been upstairs in this house, I think, 3 times in a year. I don't go. I don't go up the stairs. It's something I don't do. I'm not safe on stairs. Stairs and I don't like each other. I'm not so bad going up them, but coming down is a nightmare. Yeah. Oh gosh, this is going to take a lot of wool. I'm going front post, double, front post, back post. You call them double crochets, I call them trebles. It's going to be a thick hat, this, I tell you. You see it, it's all front post, back post. My son was funny when he broke his leg when he was a kiddie. When they took the plaster cast off he was in a cast from his thigh to his ankle. And when he took it off, it was thin, his leg, but hairy. He looked like a yeti. He had this dark hair. Hi, Nicole. How are you? Did your dad come home from hospital, Nicole? Nicole's dad's not been very well. He's been in hospital, but she was hoping he was going to come home. He did. Yay! Oh, a yeti. Yeah, he looked like a yeti. Did your dad come home? Am I saying yeah for your dad coming home? Yeah. He's not been well with his lungs. Oh, not yet. Oh, dear. Fingers crossed then he gets home for Thanksgiving, whenever that is. I don't know when it is because I'm a English person and we don't have it. So I don't know when you have turkey and all that stuff over there. Yeah. Right, Nibbler's walkabout. Hope he has a good time while he's out there walking. Sure. My light keeps flashing on here and I don't know why. Thursday next week. Ah, right. Thursday. What date is Thursday? Hmm. Is that my birthday? Is my birthday on a Thursday? Ductwork cleaning is Tuesday. You've got an eye twitch. Oh, Thanksgiving is on my birthday then. Just looked at the calendar. Yeah. So you can all celebrate Thanksgiving and my birthday with a turkey. So when you're all sat there feasting on your turkey, just say, Happy birthday, Jan. And then I'll get your thoughts across the pond. We were just talking about that at lunch today, saying that we're not overly fond of turkey. You have to be careful, don't you? Otherwise it gets dry. You've only got to overcook it by a smidge, and yet you're terrified of not cooking it enough in case you all get salmonella poisoning. I don't think we'll have a turkey at Christmas. I'd rather have a chicken. I have never bought a turkey in all of my life. Never bought one. Never cooked one. I've cooked a turkey crown or cooked a turkey breast, but I've never cooked a full turkey. Because even when I was married, my ex didn't want a turkey. He'd rather have a leg of lamb or a piece of beef or something like that. We never had a turkey at Christmas. My mum was a traditionalist. My mum did Christmas dinner. It was always had to be a turkey. And when I used to go to my sister-in-law's, it always had to be a turkey. But no, we used to have lamb or beef. Yeah. Here, I think my daughter-in-law, my son, they like a ham or pork or something like that. They don't have turkey, as far as I know. They might get a chicken, but I mean, I would think that Christmas Day there'll just be the three of us here, so I'm sure we won't get a turkey. I'm sure all the turkeys of the world will be happy that we're not going to eat them at Christmas. They are weird looking things, aren't they, turkeys, though? Don't you think they look weird with that sort of floppy thing they've got, yeah? Goose is a bit greasy, don't you think, unless you have to cook it right. It's same with duck, isn't it? They're very, very greasy animals, ducks and geese, yeah. What's with all that wobbly bits these turkeys have, though? Yeah, it's kind of rich meat, isn't it? Goose and they probably do own it. They're probably natives, Enid. They're probably there before you. They own the place. Do people chase them and catch them and eat them, or do they just leave them be? It's like when Shad teases Miguel and says to Miguel about eating his chickens. Yeah, Miguel goes mad when Shad says eat your chickens. You're not allowed to hunt. No, well, that's why they strut down the street. Then they know. We're not supposed to keep any livestock in the back gardens here, but somebody not too far from here has hens in their back garden. But technically, I think according to the deeds, we're not supposed to have any livestock or chickens or anything that you can eat in your back garden. Next door's got guinea pigs, I think, or maybe they're rabbits. I don't know, but they're not to eat. Obviously, they're just pets. We'll stick with the dogs and the wild squirrels. Oh, this is going to be a thick hat. And I'm not going to have enough wool. Luckily, I've got another ball. So I'll probably get 3 hats out of 2 balls. I could probably have used a bigger hook, but I don't. I don't like, as I said before, I don't like crocheting on too big of a hook. It's very thick. Gosh, it's going to be so warm, that hat. I was watching Z's video. I don't mind watching videos if they're about 6 minutes long. Z's videos, that's Zelda NRJ3. Her videos are usually only a few minutes long. She'd made a hat, one from what Bag a Day had done, I think. Can't remember what kind of hat she called it. It had a bit of this kind of stitch at the top, and then it changed into another kind of stitch. Yeah. I only watched it quickly just before this video started, so I need to go back and have another look to see which pattern she actually used. Oh, she is. Has she made another video then, baby? When was the last video she made? I know she said she was going to work as a teaching assistant. Has she made another one? The last one I watched was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah, that's the one I watched. She hasn't made one since, yeah. Yeah, I thought she might have made one after she started working, to see how she was getting on. But obviously she hasn't. We'll have to put a comment on the video, BB, saying, how are you getting on? Are you making another video? We all want to know how you're getting on. Let us know. Yeah, I knew she was going to do some work for the wool company. I think it's knitting though, isn't it? Not crochet. Something to do with designing patterns for knitting she was doing. I'd be no good. I'm just a freelance kind of crocheter. I don't write anything down. And people say to me, what did you do? I said, I've got no idea. I can make another one if I've still got the original. But if I don't have the original, then no, I can't make another one because I don't know what I did. And even if I do write myself notes, I can't understand them when I go back to them, and that's me. So I'd be no good. Oh yeah, so long as she doesn't put the kids in them, Nathan, she can still do them. Yeah, she couldn't do one at work, anything like that. But she couldn't do any video showing where she was working, but she can do a video saying she is working. Yeah, it's just she can't do anything, or she can't mention any of the kids by name or anything like that. But yeah, she can still make them. Oh, I write things down in gibberish, Bobby. I just don't even understand my own notes. I'll do two ch, and I'm like, yeah, I think that's two chain. What was that? And then I'll put things like fan stitch on, you know, create a design on the computer. Oh God, no, I couldn't do that. I'm not worldly wise with computers. That's why I can't do my own web page. People are saying, oh, it's dead easy to make a web page. It's tedious to make it, but it's dead easy. And I'm like, oh, really? Really? If I'd ever been shown when I was a little younger and a little bit more receptive to learning things, I probably could have done it. If somebody had sat down, or I could have gone to night school or day school or whatever, and somebody had shown me how to do it, I probably would have had a go at doing it. But my brain doesn't work that way anymore. I sort of have this la 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 when anybody says anything about a computer. Oh, it might do a simple pattern for you, BB, but it wouldn't for me. I haven't got a clue. I can sit and crochet around something that's physical. I can put a sweater on the table, crochet around it, do a design on it, do whatever, but it's in there. I can't do anything with a computer or a designer or anything like that. I could never make a pattern up, to sell it, to print it, or do whatever. I can copy. I'm a brilliant copyist. I can see something in a shop window and I can copy it. I can see something in a picture on Pinterest and I can copy it. But write it down, no. It's all in the model. It's the way I am, I suppose. I'm a different generation than the people who work with computers. I envy people who can just do this and do that and do the other and it all works out wonderful. There's me like, duh. I got stuck the other night. I had to ask Zoe, like 24 karat crochet, to help me out because I got stuck on my web page, my Urban Gypsy. I couldn't post anything for some reason. It wouldn't let me do anything. And apparently it's changed it into Business Suite or something. So I have to go into Business Suite now to post a picture, to put it on my Urban Gypsy. Why do they mess about? Why does Facebook have to mess about and do things like that? I was quite cross. So now I can't post a picture unless I go into Business Suite, do all this and that and the other, and then post it onto my page. Oh, so much hassle. Hula hoop. In order to eat them, you're supposed to put them on the end of your fingers, but I've got big fingers and they're little hoops. So are you a whiz on a computer, BB? I never worked out how to do the fish lips kiss heel on a sock. And that was supposed to be all computerized and so easy. Yeah, not for this little kiddie. I used a computer when I worked at the job centre, but it was all pre-programmed. You were just working on a pre-programmed screens. That sounds great, Lydia. I wouldn't be able to do it. I've seen those kind of programs advertised, but they've always been for knitting. Well, you were reading about the wild turkeys. Yeah, that's what Kelly was saying. BB was saying that Kelly's working with this company. But it was always about knitting. She said she was hoping they were going to do one for crochet. I'm sorry I'm crunching, I'm eating my hula hoops. I'm going to run out of wool for this hat. I've got another ball though. It's in my bedroom though. You'll be the turkey spotter then, Enid, will you? Other people are bird watchers. Enid's going to be a turkey watcher. My brother was absolutely ace. He knew every bird he could spot. When he was very young, during the war, this old lady sort of, she was really into all kinds of things to do with the countryside. And she used to call for my brother. He'd only be about 7, 8. And she used to take him with her everywhere, like into the countryside, showing him all the birds and everything like that. So he knew every single bird that was going around. I can just about spot a robin. I'm like, oh, I know a seagull, I know a magpie, but anything else, I'm hopeless. I used to work on a comptometer, was it called? When I worked at the bank. It was a weird machine. A house sparrow. I know a starling because that's what we get on the bird feeder. And I think we had sparrows. You know, when that used to make all that noise in my hedge, and I used to make videos outside. All the sparrows used to go mad. I hope they don't take the hedge down. People who got my house. I've heard the woodpecker when I used to walk Buster. There used to be woodpeckers in this, the woodland at the bottom, but I never actually saw it. Heard it many times, but never saw it. I'm sure you all remember when I used to make videos outside. As soon as I started talking, these sparrows in the hedge used to make such a racket. If I was to make a video outside here, we would have seagulls. I've not made a video outside here. We always knew when it was really cold, when seagulls used to make it where I lived before. Pelicans. My friend in America used to laugh at the size of our snack bags. I don't know whether you've got any bags that small in America. She must have only ever bought the big bags then. This is a normal size bag, this, by the way. That's a normal chip size bag. This is the same. If I was to pop that much should be chips at the bottom. That much is crisps. The rest of it, that's all air. Right, that's that. I don't think I've got any coffee left. And if I do, it's cold. Don't know about iced coffee, but that was cold. Hey, do you know what I've got for my chocolate today? Toblerone. Toblerone. The mountains of Switzerland in a bar. When I find out how you're getting it. I think I'm going to have to decapitate it to get in it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there you go. Your triangular honey from triangular bees. Can't even get it in. Tell you, they wrap it up well. They wrap it up so well. Do you know what the funny thing is? I don't like nuts at all, and yet I'll eat a Toblerone and that's got nuts in it. I don't know what it's, whether it's got almonds, is it, or something? Can't see. Swiss milk chocolate with honey and almond nugget or nougat. It depends how posh you are. I was always brought up to call it nugget. It's actually supposed to be nougat. Or so I got told. But it's always been nugget to me. So why can I not eat nuts and I can eat Toblerone? Mind boggles. Anything else with nuts in, I'm not allergic to them. I just don't like nuts. Look at that. Look. Triangular. From triangular bees. Look, they've got bits of nuts in. And yeah, I can eat that. Weird. Don't ask me why. Doo-doo-doo-doo. This bottle of wool's not going to do much more round. Many more rows. Oh God, you're bringing me back to my school days. Isosceles triangles. I used to know what all that meant once upon a time. I'm 76 near enough, and I have never found a use for trigonometry. And yet we had to do it at school. Why would anybody need trigonometry? Do they still teach it? They're supposed to press the peaks together. How can you press the peaks together? No. I'm not strong enough. Have you tried? Have you tried pressing the beaks together? I haven't. I can't do it. Mm-hmm. I think you'd have to be an Olympic shot butter to press the peaks together. Oh. Yeah, we did geometry, algebra, trigonometry. Why defeats me. I've never had a use for it at all. Maybe it depended what career path I took. Well, hello there, LM Louth. Hello. Yes, you have been a while. Where have you been? Yeah, why do they teach it, Bobby? Why? Mathematicians are probably the only people who ever use it. And don't forget, we used to have to do all this trigonometry and geometry without the aid of a calculator. We used to have this stupid table thing that you had to... Oh, I never knew what that was all about either. I did pass my O-level maths, by the way, but I don't know how I did. But I did pass it. I've actually got the certificate somewhere. I've been certified. How is the weather? It's been a little bit breezy today and a bit rainy today. But it wasn't really cold. But it was a bit rainy. Yeah, my poor sister-in-law was not impressed with our seafront. Yeah, they use a calculator for everything. There was no such thing as a calculator. Showing me age up now. You didn't. You didn't have that. Snow. Oh no, you can keep your snow. Actually, with living by the coast, we very rarely have snow. They actually get quite excited here if they get any snow. About a quarter of an inch fell last winter, and everybody's like, "Ah, snow!" No, I think we're too close to the sea. We get a bit of frost in the morning sometimes, but we don't actually get snow, really. I think you're turning into an ornithologist, Enid. Enid the bird watcher. Oh, you're in Alaska. Oh, I always think of Alaska as being freezy cold. There's been two people I watched that have been in Alaska. They're on YouTube. One of them is a friend of Z's. She's gone to live in Alaska. And then there was another young lady I used to watch. I haven't seen her for a while, actually. And she used to live in Alaska. Yes, Seta is one. The other one was a young lady. Can't think what her name was. She actually moved down to California and then she didn't like it, so she went back to Alaska. Whereas Seta was the other way. She lived somewhere hot, didn't she? And she went back up to Alaska. Yeah, as Z calls her, Setaloo. Can't think what the other lady's name was that lived in Alaska. She was only a young woman. When I say a young woman, probably in her 30s. I know she had a bad back for a while, yeah. I don't know whether she's still on the net or not. I haven't seen her for a while. She started going to the gym and losing weight, and she used to do these videos, and her dogs were in the background with her. She had a couple of dogs. I can't think of her name. Terrible. I'm working on hats. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, you're definitely going to be a bird watcher. I've got this Enid. Should be getting the binoculars out. Should be what we call a twitcher. Don't know whether you call them twitchers in America, but we call bird watchers twitchers in the UK. No, I don't think she was Alaska Crafty Gal. That doesn't ring a bell. She was a young lady with very dark hair. She didn't have any kiddies. She just had two dogs. She moved down to California for a while, but it was too hot for her, and she moved right back again with her husband. Understand it? She didn't go on her own. Yeah, she had a lovely house, and she used to do these videos like by the pool. But she had a terrible bad back. She um, tried all kinds of things. I think she finished up doing gym exercises to get rid of her Francis, that sounds like her. Francis, that sounds like the name. She's a nice girl, isn't she? A lovely girl. Well, woman. Francis. Yeah, she had really bad back, didn't she? Yeah. And she started going to the gym to try and cure this bad back. I haven't seen her for a long time. I think she stopped crocheting, didn't she? So many people I used to watch don't do it anymore. I was watching a video today. No catchy name, she didn't ask her. I was watching a video today. I sent her a copy of it. I put it on my Facebook page. There's a lady called Catwise. She buys sweaters and things in, thrift shops. She cuts them all up and sort of sews them together. Well, they call it serges them together. She makes these really fantastic rainbowy coats and that. And it was showing her house, and she's painted it all colours of the rainbow. I mean, it was really overwhelmed. I couldn't have gone up those stairs, I must admit, Nathan. She had the stairs done black and white, like all odd. Couldn't have walked up the stairs. But I did like all the way she was allowed to paint her house that way. We wouldn't have been allowed to paint that. Ella, yeah, I remember Ella, no catchy name, yeah. There's a lot of people I haven't seen for a long time. There was another young lady who used to live with her grandma, who used to crochet a lot of blankets and things for charity. I don't know what she was called. Again, they all seem to have vanished. Elizabeth, that might be her. She lived with her grandma. And she used to do videos almost every day for a while, and then she suddenly disappeared. Ah, her gran passed away. Yeah, she might have had to go back and live with her mum again then. Maybe, I don't know. I know she lived with her grandma because she had this bedroom that was absolutely cram full of everything. It was like the hoarders. And she had this cat, didn't she, that used to be there all the time. And I used to think, God, something's going to fall on her one of these days. It was so cram-packed, her bedroom, crammed with all sorts of stuff. I thought I was a hoarder, but my goodness me, she had all this stuff in her house. I thought I was a bad hoarder. I'm chicken feed towards some people. There's a lot of people I used to watch that don't seem to be around anymore. What on earth is that supposed to be? What's that supposed to be, Chris? Oh, you made it up, right? Okay. Oh, hurry back home. We'll miss you. I could never get the hang of those things that you're supposed to write on the back of envelopes. Mm. I was never into the codes. The only one I ever knew was like See You with a Loving Kiss and something like that. Well, you're entitled to be silly. We can all be silly once in a while. I'm silly most of the time. All right, you're going to go and put the cows to bed, are you, John? Or is it the cows you've got to get up for in the morning? Oh, you're off to the farm for your dinner, Shad. Are you going to John's farm for your dinner? Hmm? Yeah. We'll all go to John's. We'll all have our dinner at John's tonight. I saw your photo for the first time, John, on YouTube. Not YouTube, Facebook the other day. Sunburst crochet. I don't remember that one. So many people are. You got to collect a few sucky calves at the pub. Oh, right, okay. Make sure that's all you collect. You don't have that many pints you forget about the calves, John. Oh, you're having smoked brisket for your dinner. Makes a change from the fish. Yeah, so many people. I mean, I'm not blaming COVID because a lot of people I used to watch stopped making videos years ago. You know, you look and you think, gosh, I've not seen so and so. When you look, the last video they made was like 2015 or something. You're thinking, God, has it been that so long since I actually saw them? Yeah. There was another lady I used to watch, and she used to go to car boot sales, buy all kinds of things at these car boot sales. And I used to love watching her, and she just vanished without a trace. I think she lived in the northeast. Kelly, she's made a video about 4 weeks ago, but she started working now. So I've not seen her or heard from her since. But she has got a video about 4 weeks ago. She had a video out. Yeah, I used to like watching that lady who went round car boots and bought. She used to buy like old people's work boxes, and she used to open them up and show all these really old-fashioned things that were in these boxes. She stopped making videos, and then am I eating crisps? No, I'm actually eating a Toblerone at the moment. Chocolate Toblerone. Um, I found one of her videos and I sent her a message asking, and she said she was thinking of going to make videos again, but she never did. So it's like people just disappear, don't they? And you never know quite why. You know, you wish they'd put a video on saying, right, I'm going off now. You won't see me anymore, I'm giving it up. But they don't, they just vanish off the face of the earth without any explanation. Have I got any new yarn? No. I bought a ball of brown wool the other day. That's to make a reindeer for my friend. No, I've got too much wool. I've not been using any of it up, so I've not got anything new to show anybody. Very boring. Hi, Donna. Yeah, you can see me with one eye. I can actually read what people are reading from here without going like that. So, yeah, so it is nice to have one eye working. No, surprisingly, it was a bit tender when I first had it done. But I can honestly say, no, I was worrying, for nothing. I was really getting upset, the thoughts of it. I can't do with anybody coming near my eye. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to hate this. And it was a bit, when they come and they put like a clamp thing in your eye, and when your eye's not numbed. So that was a bit like, get away. And I thought, oh my God, this is going to be awful. And then they put like a load of numbing stuff, I presume. It just felt like water going over my eye. And then it was numb, and I didn't feel them doing anything after that. It's eerie though, because they're doing something. Not pleasant, but it doesn't hurt. Yeah, it's great not having to do that, Chris, all the time. To read, I can actually read. I can read my computer. I can read the TV. The only thing I'm struggling with is the messages on my phone. They're a little bit tiny. They're the only things I can't see too good. Gosh, it's going to be a thick hat, this. I'm doing, front post, back post. So it's really going to be a chunky hat. Can you see it? That's not my bad San Andreas fault, as Z calls it. It's where the wool changes colour. It's not me. I've got nothing to do with it. The wool's doing it itself. It's not my bad colour changing when I'm striping. I'm a bit OCD about things like that. I'm just having to go with it and just not think about that. Hi, Rebecca. Yeah, it'll be a warm winter hat, Bobby, that's for sure. It's a bit hard on your wrists, though, going, into the back loops and into the front loops. A little bit hard on the wrist. I wouldn't like to do it all the time. And it's kind of eating up the wool a lot. It's using up a lot of wool. But it will be a warm hat, you're right. Yeah, if nobody else has the hats, they will probably go to the homeless or something like that, to charity. I'm sure they'll go somewhere. They won't be wasted. I think I've got five hats in the shed. And that's the sixth hat. That's number 7. I'm just using appointments. That's number 7, and that's number 8. Just making some hats up. I wasn't in the humour for fiddling about doing anything. So I can do hats when I'm not thinking about anything else. I'd started making Christmas decorations, as you know, but when I discovered we won't be having a Christmas fair to sell them, I just thought, well, there's no point making any more. So my friend's coming on Monday, so she'll take some more stuff with her. She's been making all kinds of bits and pieces with bits and pieces I've given her. And I've got some more of the bangles I've been making, the wreaths with. But the girls at Knit Club are making those, so I'll take them some. I don't know whether we do that in the UK, Bobby, that blue hats for hats, not hate. I don't think they do it in the UK. We just do hats for homeless or hats for, charity or whatever over here. They take them and give them out to people who haven't got a hat, people who are out on the street and stuff. coming winter now, isn't it? But a lot of the brightly coloured hats, the homeless don't like them because it draws attention to them. They like their hats done in darker colours, yeah. So I don't think they'd want these bright coloured green ones. They might stand out too much. But I'm doing them anyway. It's just ornaments in balls of wool I've got, that I'm using up. I've got like one ball of this blue. It's not big enough to do anything else with. And I've got one ball of this other green. Oh, it looks blue on here, but it's actually green. One ball of this. Oh, it still looks blue. It's not blue, I can assure you, it's green. Oh, there, it's showing green now, isn't it? It's green. There, green. So I'm just making hats, Rebecca, that's all. I mean, when you've got one ball or something, there's not much you can do with them, really. There's not enough to make a shawl. There's not really enough to make a scarf. So you tend to just make a hat with them, really. Because there's always somebody wants a hat, but there's always a use for a hat. And I'm not much into making mittens or gloves or anything. Fingerless gloves are not much use to anybody if it's cold. Because your fingers are the bits that get cold, aren't they? And I'm not very good at making mittens in crochet. I can do mittens in knitting, but I'm not much into crocheted mittens. I find they're a bit bulky. And most people like gloves anyway, so the fingers are free to do things with. They don't want a mitten. I need to find my sheepskin mittens I bought last year. It's getting nearly that weather again now. When my fingers get so cold on my scooter because like your fingers are bent like that, so that part of your finger is in the wind and the cold. I've got some fleecy gloves, but they don't seem quite good enough. But I bought sheepskin mittens last year, but they're very, very stiff. I can't bend them round. I don't know what you do with them, oil them, or soften them up in some way or another. Maybe there's a way to Google it. How do you soften sheepskin mittens? You probably put oil on them or something, but like baby oil or something. But I don't want to ruin them, so I'll just find out first. I mean, when I had them before, when I was a youngster, I wore them that much, they were very battered, so they just went, really soft. I mean, somebody's actually said I should buy some like motorbike mittens that go, onto the handlebars. But my handlebars go round that way. They're not like handlebars that go that way. So I don't know quite how they would fit. They would be kind of like at the wrong angle, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to keep bending my hands in them, yeah. Yeah, I'm just busy making hats, that's what I was doing. I'm not in the mood for like starting any garments or anything because, as you know, I've not been selling anything. So I don't want to make more garments and pile more things in the shed. Um, so I've just been, and I'm not doing Christmas presents or anything like that this year. So I've just been doing hats because I thought, well, there's always a market for a hat if somebody needs a hat. I mean, I love making other things. I like making baby things and I like making other stuff. And I've still got to make more squares, for my throws in the conservatory. But I'm just so afraid if I sew one together that Rosie's going to chew it or drag it round the garden. And all those hours and hours of work I've done making those squares, and she'll drag it round the garden. So I feel a bit hesitant about sewing them crocheting them together, to be quite honest. I'll see how we go. See how we go. She's just such a little demon for chewing everything. She's chewed the wooden arm on me, on the recliner. Luckily, it gets covered over with the throw. I've got a teeth mark down the arm of the recliner. And at the moment, she's chewing the banister, the stair rods. We call them banisters in the UK. I don't know what you call them in America. The bit that you hang on to when you're going down the stairs. She's been chewing that. She just chews everything and anything. She's a puppy, I guess. I mean, she's 8 months now. Still a baby. Yeah, I'll be looking after her tomorrow. My ex is coming to see my son, obviously. So they're going out for a meal, which I don't want to go to even if I was invited. So I said I'd look after the dog while they go out. He's not coming here to see me. He's coming here to see his son and my daughter-in-law. So I don't want to sit and have dinner with them. So I shall look after Rosie instead. I get the better bit of the deal. Looking after the puppy. While they go out. She'll bark and she'll cry and she'll whine, but she gets over it. She's got to learn that, when she's with me, she's not been abandoned just because her mum and her dad are not here. She's getting more to accept me these days than she did at first. She'll actually come in to play with me now. She comes and brings a ball and, like daft grandma will play with me, yeah. They're watching TV, they're boring upstairs. I'll come down and I'll annoy grandma. So she does. Yeah, it's going to be a thick hat, isn't it? Look how thick it is. Going to need the rest of the other ball, some of the other ball, yeah. Oh, yeah, she brings the ball knowing I'm daft enough to start throwing it. Mind, she pushed it under the sofa today. I couldn't get it because I'm not supposed to bend my head down. Something to do with the pressure on your eyes. So I couldn't get the ball out. I tried with my back scratcher. I tried with that, but my daughter-in-law had to get down on all fours and fish the ball out from underneath the sofa. All the time we had Poppy here, she never pushed her ball under the sofa. But this little one, boom, straight under. I hope she doesn't make a habit of it. Hi, Chris. I'm going to be glad when I finish this hat, I'll tell you. Zoe, 24 karat crochet. She used to do a lot of things in this, front post, back post. I find it slow going and hard on the wrist. One thing I want to do is to do Tunisian crochet. I can do basic stitches, but I cannot get my tension. If I get my tension right widthwise, I can't get my tension right upwards lengthwise. So I need to practice more. I've got the hooks. I've got the books. I've even got the video. But I still haven't really learned how to do it. It was something that Sue and I were going to learn how to do. We sat one day and we watched the video and we did do, the basic stitches, and then of course we both forgot. Ian that comes on here, he made me a lovely, like a face cloth in sort of like a waffle stitch that he'd done in Tunisian. And that was really nice. I've got it in the bathroom. Because he said, "You're not going to use it to wash the dishes." I went, "No." I said, "It's a washcloth. It's in the bathroom." How is everything today? Everything is fine with me, Chris. I don't know about the others. But I think we're all right. Not sure how we're coping mentally, but I think we're all right physically. It's hurting my shoulder now, all this backwards in and forwards in. I think this is going to have to get stopped for a while. I'm not done so bad. That's what it's like. It's like a little zigzag stitch, isn't it, really? Yeah, you see, this annoys me. It's not me changing colours, by the way. It's just all in one. That's the other side of it. I'm going to have to stop with that because it's hurting my wrist. My shoulder, sorry, not my wrist. I have to move it before Rosie gets her mittens on it. And I'll have to move Santa Claus. I don't know why. He was going to go on my window bottom, but I think it might be too tempting for Rosie. So I think he's going to have to go. Oh, he's got whiskers in his eyes. He's got his little glasses on. Can you see? Little glasses. Little boots. Yep. Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane. Mine's the opposite, Rebecca. I tend to make my hats too small. I've only got a small head, so I tend to fit them on me and think, oh, they're great, they're fine. But I don't have a big head. So, so lots of other people, they don't fit them because, I mean, my son's got a big head. I should use him, shouldn't I? I never thought he had a big head, although I did struggle with him when he was born. But I mean, I never thought he had a hat. But when he tries hats on, they always just perch on top of his head. So he needs a bigger hat. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. You've done 50 hats. Oh, I haven't done that many. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm on my 9th hat. But I've only been doing them about 2 weeks or something like that. So, that's why I haven't done many. My shoulder's hurting. I think it's that backwards in and forwards in. I don't know why when you're using this hand, why that shoulder is the one who hurts. But that's the shoulder I broke many, many moons ago. And every now and again, it gives me grief. It was that bad a few weeks ago. I was thinking of going to the physiotherapist or the chiropractor or whatever you want to call it. But then I thought, oh God, it's about £60 a session. So, like you said, we get nothing like that on the NHS. We have to pay pennies for anything like that. A lot of pennies. That a bit better. Oh, you can see my rose now. Look, my crochet rose. Don't know why I decided to put that on. It was my Christmas cardigan about 5 years ago. This, because it's got a bit of sparkle on it. Yeah. So that's why I decided to put. As you know, I wear a lot of black. So I had a black dress on one Christmas, and I had my red cardigan with the glitz on it. Oh, for adults and kids who have cancer, yeah. You have to use nice soft wool though for that, don't they? Because if they're bald, they have to use whatever, so they don't. Is it cotton you've got to use or something, so it doesn't itch them? I'm just using up my oddments. It's all acrylic, so it's not for anybody specific. I know it won't do for anybody who's got cancer because it could be scratchy on their head. I'm sure I read somewhere that you had to use either cotton was the best to use, yeah. I have to lean that way so that Chris can see like the tree behind, yeah. Oh gosh, wigs, yeah. I gave all Paris's wigs away to a girl who does this cosplay or whatever. Yeah. So she used to dye them and do all sorts of things with them. I had a short wig one time. It was all the fashion years and years ago to wear a wig. I still have my own hair. Got all my wrinkles. I blame losing weight. Look at that. Lose weight and look older. You double the hats. I used to knit hats on that Addy machine at one time, but it doesn't really like UK wool. I think it's been designed for number 4 weight yarn in the States. It knits that perfectly well, but it doesn't like double knitting over here, and it doesn't like chunky. Oh, my yarny eyes were definitely bigger than my yarny yarny needles. I always used to say I'd got eyes bigger than my hooks, yeah. But I haven't bought anything recently, except just bits and pieces when I was making those wreaths. I didn't have the right colours for the wreaths. But apart from that, I haven't been buying anything. That's one reason why I've not been making any videos, because people expect me to see me, to show me A, something I've finished, or B, something I've bought. Hi, Miguel. Shad's gone off. He's gone out to dinner. So you've missed him. He's gone to have smoked brisket. John's been on and he's gone to the pub to get some suckling calves, which would just be right up your street, wouldn't it, Miguel? So that's where John's gone. Yeah, that's what Shad's gone for. He's gone for smoked brisket. Makes a change from the fish he usually has, isn't it? I know, I just feel very boring, Ella, when I don't have anything to show, I don't have anything to talk about. I just feel pretty boring. Have you given the cat a name yet, Miguel? Seeing as it seems to have adopted you. I'll try and make a video. I'll try and make one. If I've got Rosie knocking about, it could be hectic. We were talking earlier on about cats. You don't own a cat owns you. A cat's decided, whether it's going to live with you or not. So I think the cat's decided you're it. My brother used to call me that when I was a little kid. You're probably not old enough to remember, but there used to be a song in the hit parade back about 70 years ago. And it was sung, I can't remember who sang it, but it was like, if ever a devil was born without a pair of horns, it was you. Jezebel, it was you. And my brother used to sing that to me and absolutely make me go insane. And he used to shout, Jezebel. And I said, I'm not old. He was 8 years older than me and he used to get all his own way. So that was my nickname when I was little. Miguel was Jezebel. Only from my brother. Nobody else used to use it. My mum used to shout at him for calling me that. But he said I was a devil without a pair of horns. Hmm. Your husband's down the stairs with the dog. Oh, yeah, best place for him. Leave him down there. Oh, that's nice. My wind spinners didn't. I don't think I've got the right tension. My wind spinners aren't that good. June says it's because I didn't use cotton, but I think it's because my tension's not tight enough. They just sort of go like that rather than like that. Mine go like that. I think it's my tension. I don't think my tension's tight enough. That's what I think the problem is. They look droopy, my wind spinners. 71 degrees. It's 7 degrees C here, whatever that is in English. I don't know. Do you like my Santa Claus, Miguel? Do you like Father Christmas? I bought him today. Gonna have to hide him from Rosie, otherwise Rosie will drag him all around the garden. Didn't get a Christmas tree though, couldn't find one. Mine don't spin, Miguel. I told you my tension's wrong. I'm not making any more. I I can't get them right. So I'm not doing them anymore. I know Rosie's going to get Santa, that's what I mean. And I don't know if she's going to go with the Christmas tree when I finally get one. Mm-hmm. My shoulder's hurting. Done too much crocheting. I'm just crocheting hats at the minute, Miguel. Just using up some bits and pieces. Um, I've been crocheting the Divine hat. It's really easy to do, but they're more for a lady because of the way it slants. It's meant to slant, by the way. It's not my crochet. Um, I think it's more meant for a lady. Yeah. Well, I missed my meeting last week, didn't I? Because I was having my eye done. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to going to this one. I've got everybody making wreaths out of, wreath Christmas ornaments out of bangles. And I must have ordered some more bangles in my sleep because I had enough bangles. Anyway, the girls at the knit club will be glad to have them and use them. So yeah, I made two more hats. That's not something wrong. It just happened in the way in the hat, and then I made another one. I'm just yeah, the divine hats are more for ladies though, don't you think, Miguel? They're a bit fancy for a boy. I'm just using oddballs up. It's like I was saying, you can always find somebody who wants a hat, can't you? I think I've made 9 now, or I'm making 9. Yeah, it's a bit fancy for a boy. Yeah, it's my tension, Bobby. I'm absolutely sure it's my tension isn't tight enough. Instead of staying like that, they go. My friend said to me, "It's because you haven't curled them." Yeah, and so she's curled them for me, but I haven't let them droop yet. Yeah, yeah. We've got 2 Chris's. We've got a lady Chris and a guy Chris now. So there's 2 Chris's just to make you confused. Yeah, you see, I used a smaller hook than that. I used a 350, which I don't know what that is. Maybe an F. I don't know. And they don't curl. Whatever. So I don't know. It's definitely my tension that's off. Yeah, yeah. I used a 350. I think that's an F, isn't it? Um, and they just it's my tension. It's not tight enough. I love salad. We haven't had salad for a bit because it's cold. I do love a salad, I must admit. Behave, Chris. I thought you were a gentleman. I didn't think you used an F. Oh, what was that? Something went. Nathan was on earlier. Yeah, he was one of the first ones to say hello. Yeah, but I think he might have either nodded off or gone to watch something. We've had no Ian and no Isaac today, but definitely Nathan. Oh yeah, there he is. Nathan's still there. Look, he's waving to you. I knew he was around somewhere. You're never far away, are you, Nathan? You're always listening. I listen, but then there's nobody talking. If I sit here listening, there's nobody around us. Mm. No, Daniel tonight. He must be busy, busy. No, Daniel. Hey. I found a nice shawl pattern. I was looking through all of my books. Well, not all of them. I've still got two rows on a bookcase to do. I was looking through all the books that were over there, refreshing my brain, trying to find the ones that were like hats or mittens or gifts or whatever, to make little things with all bits I've got. And I found a lovely shawl pattern. I told you I got those um, two skeins of hand knit wool that I won't be able to wear. But I need to get colours that will go with those skeins, to do this, because one shawl is like a light colour and a dark colour, and it just takes one skein of each. But my colours are all dark colours and they won't go together. So I might need to have to invest in another skein or something like coloured. Mm, yeah, I know it sounds a bit sort of. When am I getting to start? We're not doing it now for Christmas, Miguel. That's why I stopped making Christmas things. Um, my friend works for a store that won't give her any time off at the weekend because they're going to be busy between now and Christmas. I can't do a lot because I can't bend. I'm not supposed to bend forward for a fortnight with this eye. And so we just abandoned getting the stall before Christmas. So she's been selling a few of her bits and pieces that she's made for Christmas things. She's been selling them amongst her friends and that. But I gave up. I said I'll just put them on my tree, the little ones I made, when I get a tree. I couldn't find a tree today. I want one of those narrow trees. And all they had when I was looking was all the big trees like that, trees. And I haven't got room for a big tree like that. I want a narrow tree. So I got some bubbles, some baubles, whatever you want to call them. I got my Father Christmas. I might go back actually, because the shore I was looking at, it had some like Christmas wreaths and it had the lights. Oh, I got some fairy lights, twinkly lights. But I might get something for the window, that lights up for the window. And yeah, I might get some more trimmings. It was my niece that took me there, so we'd actually only gone for a Christmas tree that I didn't get. But I got a thing full of baubles, whatever you want to call them, because I threw everything away. And sadly, I'd thrown away the nativity by accident that I'd had from being a little girl. So I was really sad about that when I realised what had happened, that the nativity's gone. So I've ordered a new nativity online with eBay. So that should come in the next few days. So I have to start again with a new nativity. So new house, new nativity. So I always like my nativity on the window bottom. Yeah. Windowsill, whatever you want to call it. Well, we didn't like Christmas last year, Chris, because we'd just moved in. The house was a mess. It was upside down. It wasn't decorated. I didn't have the carpets. It was just a no Christmas last year. And it was locked down and it was COVID. So we didn't have a decoration up in the house. We just didn't feel like it. We didn't feel like Christmas at all last year. So I'm determined to do a little bit more Christmassy this year. Ooh, ooh. What was that? A bit more Christmassy this year. Yeah. So, but they had Christmas in the UK seems to be pink this year for some reason or other. When I went into there's a big store called B&M's. It's a bit like your Dollar Tree or whatever. It's a cheap kind of. It's not a dollar, but it's a cheap kind of store. Everything's cheaper there. So I went in B&M's, and everything seemed to be pale pink. Even pale pink reindeer stockings, everything. Christmas decos and everything was pink. Obviously, red is not the colour this year at all. So it seems to be pink and silver this year. But I didn't get pink because pink won't go with the decor. So I got silver, yeah. But I think I'll go back when my niece isn't with me and have a proper look. They had some lovely little like glass penguins and things that were musical, and they played a little tune. Um, so I'd like to go in. Yeah, there's a lot of gnomes as well, Bobby. Yeah, you're right. There is a lot of gnomes. I wouldn't mind a gnome, but I didn't want a pink. I didn't want a pink gnome. No, these are like they had a glass like a little nativity. They had a glass that was penguins, and they played tunes. And then they also had some like little snow globes. I like a snow globe where you shake it and all the snow comes down. And then they had some carousels going round as well that played tunes. Hi, Enid. And they had all sorts of stuff. So I didn't buy a lot today, but I'm definitely thinking of going back. Yeah. Oh, you've got a numb foot. Oh, I've got a numb hand. It's wearing off a bit now. I had pins and needles in it before. So I'm thinking of going back because they had so much stuff there. It was just fascinating. And I'm thinking, oh, I could have got that. Oh, I could have got that. So I'm going to go back again with my scooter because it's only a scooter ride. I'll probably go one day next week if it's not raining. And Lisa's going live, whoever Lisa may be. Lisa Pine Notes? No, that's the Lisa I know. So I'm going to go back in the shop and maybe I'm not buying anything pink though, because pink's not my decor. So yeah. And I was thinking of Jean that comes on here, the one with the dog called Christine. She likes the nutcrackers and stuff. Yeah. Oh, our chocolate. Mm. I was watching a video on television where they were doing taste testing chocolate, and they had English chocolate, they had Swiss chocolate, they had another chocolate, and they had the US chocolate. And the only people who liked the US chocolate were people in London who were visiting from the US. Everybody else was like, eh. I don't know what there is about your chocolate over there in the US, but oh God, it's not British taste at all. And yet the US people were saying that our British chocolate isn't their taste. I think it's just a matter of taste. But I do think our chocolate's good. But Swiss chocolate, Belgian chocolate, they are the best. I've got to say that, even though I like UK chocolate. Belgian. That Hotel Chocolat, have you ever tasted that? It is mega expensive. They're all handmade chocolates, but oh gosh, they're to die for, honestly. But a box of chocolates from Hotel Chocolat is, oh, you wouldn't sit and eat them. You'd have to eke them out, like one a week or something to justify spending that amount of money, you know. But yeah, Belgian, I think it's Belgian or Swiss chocolate is the best of all. But British is, but your US chocolate, no, you can keep it. Somebody sent me a Hershey bar one time. Vile, absolutely vile. No. I can remember before the restrictions in America where you couldn't take food in. Um, a friend of mine, her sister had emigrated to America. And when her sister's daughter was 21, all she wanted was her to get a cardboard box and fill it full of English chocolate. She had to say, she said, I don't care if you have to ship it. Oh, good night, Chris. I don't care if you have to ship it. I don't care how long it takes to get to me. Just send me a box full of chocolate. And she did. And she said all her US young friends, were going crackers, crazy for this chocolate. They kept saying, we've got this in, we've got Kit Kat, we've got whatever in the US, but it doesn't taste like this. Yeah. You're sticking with traditional green and red. Well, green and red wouldn't go in here, would it? Jean, you know. Seeing everything's like teal, and this looks blue on camera, but it's not. It's um, like a teal green colour. Same with my chair. My chair looks blue. It's not. It's green. Um, the wallpaper isn't as blue as it's looking over there. But I've picked blue for my lights, and I've picked silver for all my decos. So, but a Christmas tree, I'm like that, whether to get a white one. Some of the green plasticky ones look a bit tacky, unless you spend a lot of money to get one that looks realistic. And I'm not sort of in the spend a lot of money price range, if you know what I mean. I'll probably put it just in the corner there behind me somewhere. That's probably where I'll put it. That's why I only want a narrow one, so that it won't get in the way when I draw the curtains back, and it won't get in the way of the TV. I can't put it anywhere else, anywhere near the door, because Rosie will just come smashing through and knock it flying. So, yeah, I think it's going to be in that corner, because I don't open the drawers very often or go over there very often. So I think that's where it will be. So I'm like that. I'm thinking white rather than silver. I'm thinking of white. You can get like tinsel trees, but no, I'm thinking of white. But some of them are like £70, some of these trees, and I'm like, it's a bit expensive. So I'm still looking. I've only been in one shop so far. So I'm still looking for more my price range tree. Yeah. You know, £70 for a tree is a lot of money. So we shall see. We shall see. I can get a tacky green tree. I can get a wide tree. We do have the Black Friday sales, yeah, but I can't see any trees in the Black Friday sale. They're not daft here. They only put Black Friday sales. They only put the junk in there they want to get rid of. Yeah. Tree rental. Yeah. I don't want a live one, especially not with Rosie. She'll probably eat it and then be sick or something. No, definitely fake. And I can use it next year. Right, Jeannie, you're off to bed. Bye now. See you next week. I might have eye makeup on it, although I'm not supposed to put eye makeup on or any kind of makeup on for a week or two. That's going to kill me. Going to kill me. Can't even put any, cream. Oh, my wrinkles and my baggy bits are showing even more than usual. Yes, I had fish and chips on Friday. Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday. We had fish and chips yesterday. Very nice. We've got a really nice fish and chip shop here. Does lovely fish. Today we went out for a meal. I actually had cheese and onion pie, but it was the weirdest pie I've ever known. It was in a dish like it was more like cheese and mashed potatoes, really, not cheese. There was no pastry on it. I wanted cheese pie, it was weird. Yeah, cheese and onion pie. You must have heard of that. It's quite a favourite over here, cheese and onion pie. You know, you make your pastry, cheese and onion in it. It was a lot when I was a kid because, of course, we didn't have much meat because of the rationing. But we could get some cheese. We could get onions, yeah. Pot pie, it's got pastry at the bottom. Then you put your filling in, and then you put pastry on the top. So it's a pie. I don't know whether you call it a pot pie or what. We call it a pie. It stands up on its own. You can cut a slice out of it, like a piece of cake. You can cut a slice out of it. You can make a meat pie, you can make meat and potato, you can make chicken pie, but we don't call it a pot pie because it's made on a plate more than a pie. It's not in a dish, it's made in a sort of a plate that's slightly sloping. Yeah, that's what I think of as pie. Yeah. My daughter-in-law makes a really nice cheese and onion pie. Yeah. Yeah, cottage pie. We have that a lot. Cottage pie or shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie is with the lamb mince. Cottage pie is done with the beef. Yeah. Minced beef. I think you call it ground beef, don't you? Minced beef with like carrots, onions, sometimes peas. You make all that and do it, and then you put mashed potato on the top. Some people put a layer of cheese, and then you put it under the grill and brown it. And I love shepherd's pie and um, oh, your Thanksgiving dinner. You're having turkey tomorrow. Bouncy castles, is it? You're having bouncy castles, we call them over here. Yeah, I love. My mum was ace at making pastry. She was the best pie maker ever. But then you see, after the war, I know I've mentioned this before, but after the war in the UK, we still had rationing. We had rationing during the war, which I wasn't born. I was born right at the end of the war. But rationing still continued until 1953, which was like 8 years after the war. So, we had to spread out whatever we had, spread out the meat, spread out whatever. So you made pies with it because you could make the pastry. Good night, Rebecca. You could make pastry because that what was flour, water. They weren't on ration. You could get enough of that. So in order to spread the money round, we would do cheese and onion pie. My mum would do meat and potato pie, which would be more potatoes than meat, with onions in it. Um, Everything seemed to, everything came. No, potatoes weren't hard because everybody dug for victory. People used to grow potatoes in their own backyard, yeah. Um, any little parcel of garden or anything, any little bit of land was all dug up and they used to plant potatoes and things that were easy to grow, yeah. Yeah, we all dug for victory during the war, Miguel. Everybody had little gardens, even though there were only window boxes and plant pots. But everybody grew something like a vegetable. Yeah, that's why we had land girls. Girls used to go and work on the farms, on the land, because the men weren't there to grow. Every bit of land was turned over to growing things, like turnips, carrots, things that were easy to grow. No fancy vegetables. I don't think there was any produced. We used to unravel everything and redo everything. Um, everything was on a ration. If you had any wool, then you would reuse it and use it and unravel it and reuse it. Yeah, well, the sheep's wool would be there, but the men wouldn't be there to shear the sheep, and there wouldn't be anybody there to spin it. Yeah. They probably still did it in the Shetland Isles where they used to spin things and do things. But everybody was more intent during the war and just after the war in producing food. Food was the main thing. If you had any sheep, you would probably butcher them and eat them. People used to keep pigs in their back garden and stuff. You'd find ways to do things to eat. People kept chickens for the eggs and for the meat, for the chicken meat. If you had a little patch of garden, if you had a little patch of land, hi Stella, you would grow something, or you would have a chicken, or you would have a pig, or you would have anything, a goat, anything that you could eat. milk, ewes. People weren't into flowers or anything like that during the war. Yeah. So my mum, my dad, after the war, he had a, well, we used to call it a hen pen. Nowadays, you would call it an allotment or whatever. I don't think there was. I see. I kind of don't remember just after the war with wool. I can remember my mum unraveling everything. You know, we would go to jumble sales and she would buy sweaters with a hole in, and she would unravel them and knit a scarf or knit a hat or knit socks or something. I don't remember my mum actually until I was old enough to remember. I remember learning to knit when I was about 5, and I can remember going to a wool shop when I was about 5. Not ours, we went to a wool shop. So there must have been wool, but I don't know when it came off ration. I don't know. Yeah. Everything was rationed. Fabric was rationed, um, furniture, things, everything you had to save up your coupons for. Didn't matter how much money you had unless you went on the black market. But yeah, it was a hard time just after the war. You know, it makes me laugh when people say they can't afford to feed their family. And they get far more money and far more stuff than there was available in the war. And yet the housewives and that had to manage. I tell you, we're no obesity. There was nobody had enough food to be obese. Um, the only fast food places there was the chip shop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They used to knit socks and balaclavas for the soldiers. So there must have been some kind of wool around. I just don't know much about that. I never even thought about that. I only know about the wool and the food and stuff. Yeah, I know my aunties used to knit socks for the soldiers and balaclavas and gloves. Yeah, but they had to be in certain colours. They had to be like in khaki colours or something like that to match in with the uniforms. A balaclava is a hat that goes all the way down to your neck. There's just like a hole for your face, like a hoodie, like a hood. They call it a balaclava. It's something to do with the battle or the, I don't know, it's a battle or there was a general balaclava. Yeah, it's like it comes right over and down to your neck to keep you warm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You probably would call it a ski mask. Yeah, but it was a balaclava. It's something to do with. If you ever looked it up, it's something to do with a battle of balaclava or Lord Balaclava or something that he wore it or he made it popular anyway. Yeah. Oh God, the Luftwaffe just they wiped out towns, countries. They bombed anything, hospitals, anything. Um, I mean, I'm too young to remember the bombing because I was born just at the end of the war. But when I was growing up, there was places that had been bombed, and I used to have to walk past these where all the houses had been bombed out, and there was just bricks everywhere. And I mean, London was the worst. They got really badly hit. They went for everywhere where they thought there was industry, or they thought they might be bomb making, or they thought there might be shipbuilding or something. They just didn't care. They just bombed everything. Big towns got the worst. Manchester, London. London was really badly hit. They called it, oh God, yeah, innocent children. They used to have to go in the underground train stations. People used to practically live down there because when they came back up on the top again, the house was gone. Can you imagine you come out of the air raid shelter, you walk down your street, and your house and the street isn't there? I mean, how must that have felt? You know, you've got Nothing. All your furniture, everything, your clothes, everything gone. You'd see people like picking over into the rubble, trying to find photographs or trying to find something. Yeah, they probably ran out of everything. I mean, it was really, really hard during the war. But London got it the worst. London was hit really, really badly. Where I lived, it was just outside of Manchester, and only really maybe 2 or 3 bombs dropped where I actually, well, my family were. So I don't really know of anybody who actually got killed just in my little village, if you know what I mean. Because we didn't have anything in my village. We weren't like attractive to the Germans, if you know what I mean. Um, but like Manchester had the docks and stuff like that. Oh God, yeah, people are spoiled. When they say, I can't feed my children, I've only got so much. God, the housewives during the war would have thought that was a feast. You know, honestly. It, you know, I showed somebody the rations and she said, oh, was that for the day? Was that the rations for the day? I said, that was the rations for the week. It was like 2 ounces of butter, 1 egg. And that was your rations for the week, not the day, the week. I mean, can you imagine people today that say they're so hard up and they can't afford, what they really mean is they can't afford to go to McDonald's and feed their kids junk, you know. I mean, a baked potato with a bit of cheese would have been luxury back in the war because you only got a little block of cheese to last you the whole week. That's why people grew vegetables because that's what they used to live on. They make vegetable soup and stuff. If you had a cabbage, you had anything, that's what you ate. You know, no, we didn't. They definitely didn't get meat. You had a little ration, you had your ration book, and you went to the butcher's and you were allowed this little bit of meat, and that was your week. Not your day, not whatever, your week. If you were lucky, sometimes they might have a sausage. You get a sausage that was off the ration. You know, you only got a chicken if you raised a chicken in your backyard and you slaughtered it. That's the only way you would see a chicken. Um, but people just had to do what they had to do, you know. Farmers were the worst because they used to get raided because people would sneak at the dead of night, like, and pinch a few turnips or something, you know, just so that they could make turnip soup or something. Um, you know, pick out a few potatoes out, you know, make potato soup. You know, that was like the height of your luxury was potato soup. No meat in it, no nothing in it, just potato soup. Yeah. This is what makes me smile when I see people who say, oh, we're so poor. We haven't got money to feed the kids. Yes, you do. You just don't know how to spread your money around. You don't know how to cook. You don't know what to do. Electricity used to go on and off, I believe. By the time the war was over, I don't remember. The only power cuts I remember was during the miners' strike in the 70s, was it, or 80s, when everybody went on a 3-day week. And the electricity used to be only on for 3 days in the week. And I used to have to boil water and cook things for people in my street because I had a gas oven. And other people had electric ovens and electric kettles and things, and they couldn't even boil water for a baby's bottle, for example. Yeah. Um, oh yeah, yeah. We used to make big. You never had a meal that was like what you would call a recognizable meal. Like you would never have a piece of steak or a piece of chicken or anything. Everything was a stew. Everything was a soup because that was the way you spread everything round. I never saw what I call like a normal, what I would call a normal meal. No, I never saw that when I was little. Everything was always a pie, a stew, a soup. Yeah. And that was what I was brought up on. But I tell you what, there was no fat kids back in the day, no fat people. You know, everything was economically stretched out. You know, you couldn't have eggs, there was no sugar. Um, Making a cake was like a special occasion because you had to use one of your eggs. There was dried eggs, but they were good. If you've ever had dried eggs, you'll know what I mean. Um, yeah, and there was no. You could get the flour, you could get water, you could get milk if you were near a farmer, but you couldn't get the sugar. So the cakes were always a bit, yeah, flour. You know, you that you use for baking flour. Powdered eggs were disgusting, absolutely disgusting. They were still around when I was a kid, and they were terrible. Um, yeah, dried milk. There used to be dried milk. Um, but people survived. Hi, Jill. Hi, Fiber Floozy. Yeah, but we survived. And this is what makes me sort of annoyed is people who are saying today they can't feed their kids, they can't do this, they can't do that. We've only got so much money. And I'm thinking, that must have been a fortune to my mother. She'd have had the money that they have, but yeah, relevant. If she'd have had the chance to go into the butcher's or the chance to go into a store and buy something that was there, she would have thought it was wonderful. Yeah. You've just come back from Abilene. Or you're celebrating from when you were sick. Oh, you were poorly sick, were you? Well, hello, Rosita. Hello, Rose from the Philippines. Miss Sadiaki, hello. Yeah, chuck roast and chicken breast. My God, that would have been a feast either during the war or just after. That would have been a feast of kings. Yeah. You're starting your day with some coffee. Yeah, the eye's fine. This eye's rubbish, but that eye's great. So I'm a bit lopsided. It's giving me a headache, but apart from that, I'm okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you're starting your day with coffee. Are you going to church today, Rose? Or has your mum gone to church and you're just staying home? Is it Sunday? It's Sunday for you, is it, over there? Or are you back on Monday now? I never know whether people are in front of us or behind us. Yeah. Same with people in Australia. I don't know whether they're in front or whether they're behind you. So it's Sunday, but you might go in the afternoon, right? Okay. I'm with you, Rose. I'm with you. Yeah, I don't have any more coffee now at this time of night because it's like gone past midnight now. So I daren't have any coffee now. This will make me probably run to the loo during the night. You know, I'm at the age where you can't sleep all night without going to the loo. Oh, thank you, Rose. Yeah, no eye makeup because I've had my eyes done. Well, one eye done. So I'm not allowed to wear any makeup, not allowed to wear anything. You went to the record store for some vinyl. Oh my God, we've got a shed full of vinyl. We had loads of vinyl that we jettisoned when we came here. Nobody wanted it. And now, not 12 months later, vinyl is the thing. Yeah. And yet they didn't want it when we had it. All they wanted to know was, did we have any Beatles? I said, yeah, and I'm not selling my Beatles. Nest egg for my son, that, yeah. The Beatles. You can sell them when they're even worth even more. Because I bought the original Beatles, you know, the original LPs, as we call them, the 33 and the thirds. Yeah. So I was out to lunch today. Yeah, I'll pull together. I'll pull together when I get 2 eyes done. Hi, Denise. How are you doing? You've been babysitting your 2 nephews, have you? Yes, my birthday is Thursday. Thanks, Rose. Yeah. Little Italy. Chicken parmesan or parmesan, as they call it, don't they? I'm not fond of Italian. I don't like pasta and I don't like pizza. I'm a weirdo that doesn't like pasta. It's like slimy white stuff to me. Oh, I'm sure you're knackered, Denise. I know when our 2 little ones come and stay, I don't have anything to do with them, really. It's my daughter-in-law, but oh, one of them, she can talk the iron leg off a donkey. She sits. No, one of them comes in, she's she never shuts up. The other one talks to me, but just talks to me. But the next one up, not the youngest one, the next one up, she's like vaccinated with a gramophone needle, as they say. Oh dear. I don't know who she takes after, but my God, she don't shut up. Mm. Mind you, when I was little, my dad used to call me Joey. That was the name of our budgie. Now, I know people in America don't even know what a budgie is. It's a little bird. You keep calling it a parakeet. It's not. It's a budgie. And you have them in a cage, which is awful. We'd never have one now. But we used to have them. Everybody had a budgie in a cage, and it used to twitter all day long. Twitter, 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 twitter. And ours was called Joey. So my dad used to call me Joey. I used to say, I'm not called Joey. I'm not called Joey, Daddy. And he kept saying, yes, but you're just as noisy as that bee bird. So he used to say, if you don't shut up, I'll call you Joey. So my brother used to call me Jezebel, and my dad used to call me Joey. No wonder I was confused what it was called. Yeah. Yeah, Miguel's in here somewhere. Miguel and his cat. He's like Postman Pat and his black and white cat. He's 40 years old, Postman Pat. 40 years since the first video came out. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat and his black and white cat. His cat was called Jess, I think. Yeah, you call them parakeets in America. Parakeets are a different thing altogether. Yeah. Oh, she never shuts up though, Esme. Esme's like talks, talks, talks. I mean, she's a good little talker to say how young she is. Her vocabulary is wonderful, for her age. I mean, I'm not just saying that because she's related to me, but she is. When I see other kiddies her age, they say like, and she just chatters away like she's about 25. And I see other kids that struggle with like a sentence when they're her age, and she's like, so I suppose we ought to be thankful that she's bright. In fact, she might be a bit ADHD, but we don't know. It's not. We're not going to have it tested or anything like that. Not putting a label on her. She's just a chatterbox. Yeah. I don't believe in putting labels on kids when they're that young. It's sort of like putting them in a bracket, isn't it? It could be that she's just a chatterbox and she's just full of energy. I don't want to stick a label on her. I don't think her parents do either. Everybody's too quick to label them, aren't they? Oh, they're this, oh, they're that, oh, they're autistic, oh, they've got ADHD. Just slow down and let them grow up a little bit before you put a label on them, yeah. I mean, we had naughty kids. We had kids that probably had something like that when I was little, but they didn't get any labels. They were just like hyperactive, we used to call them. We had a couple in our class that were like that. We used to just say, oh, hyperactive, disruptive. But, you know, I just wish they wouldn't give like 3-year-olds a label. Yeah, every kid's different. You're right, Denise. Don't give a 3-year-old a label. Don't stick it in a compartment. You know, give it chance to just grow a little and mature a little. Then, if it still has problems, then yeah, address it. But when they're little, they're all over the place, aren't they? They're all, you know, they never sit still. I mean, my son never sat still. He never sat still for a meal. He used to eat his meals in flying past me that way. He's not autistic. He's not anything. He's not ADHD or anything. He's grown up all right. He was just a kid that was always on the go. Yeah. He just never sat down. He never stopped. He just ran everywhere, went everywhere. He was talking, chattering, going everywhere. And yeah, he definitely didn't have any problems. He was just the way he was when he was little. He calmed down when he got to about 5, 6, something like that. He just calmed right down. And he channeled his energy into different things, like riding his bike and stuff like that. I think some little ones have just got so much energy, they don't know what to do with it. So they run around and they be naughty, they destructive, some of them, they do whatever. I think it's just, they just don't know what to do with themselves, you know. They just need to burn off their energy in some way or another. I mean, some kids never go outside. The parents never take them anywhere, never do anything. They just sit in front of the TV. They never go to the park. They never go running, jumping, swimming. They just park them in front of the TV, then they wonder why they're naughty. Oh, hello. Excuse me. You know, your kid's supposed to be out there playing. If you're too lazy to go and sit on the step with them, watch them playing, that's not my problem. Yeah. I spent so many hours sat on a chair in my garden watching my kid and next door. We used to take it in turns, me and the next door girl. If we had housework to do, one of us would sit outside with the kids, keeping our eye on what they were doing when they were playing and stuff. So we used to take it in turns who did the bedroom or who did the bathroom, you know. So that way we got our work done without both of us having to watch the kids all the time. So we had it down to a fine art. I used to get all my housework done, you know, while one of us was watching the kids. She had her washing to do. I'd sit and watch the kids. But my son was never in the house. He was always outside. Well, it wasn't. Even when it was raining, he put his wellies on. When I say it's raining, come in, and he go, no, fine, I'm okay, I'm on my bike. Riding his bike in the flipping rain. Today's kids, it's like, oh, can't get your hands dirty, come in. You've got designer clothes on, you've got designer shoes on, don't make a mess. Yeah. My son used to come in, and he had to come in the back way, ran through the garage, stand at the back door. I would never let him in. I had to strip him sometimes. Luckily, we have a secluded back garden. Strip him, put his clothes on the floor. I've even put the hose pipe on his clothes. He's been that mucky. You could just about see the whites of his eyes. He's been that dirty. And he's going, I don't want a bath. I said, you're having a bath. I said, you think you're going to sit in the house? Yeah, you head to foot mud. Well, he's full of mud. You're like, ugh, with the clothes, because you couldn't put them in the washer. They were like, ugh. So I used to get the hose pipe on them like that, get all the mud off them before I could even put them in the washing machine. To me, that was a normal boy. That was a normal kid. He used to come in with half his trouser leg hanging off, you know. Yeah, they're always on the iPad, aren't they? Nothing like that one. Luckily, my son was brought up when. Yeah, yeah, I'm still here. I should be going to bed now because it's 12:30. Yeah, but he had what I call a normal track. It's like me. I used to go out. I mean, times were different. I'll hold my hand up that times were different when I was small. Times were different when my son was small. There wasn't all this whatever. I lived in a little sort of villagey type of place where everybody knew what you were up to. If you did something wrong, your mother heard about it before you even got home, you know. Oh, night, Denise. Night, night. My son, we lived on a quietish little street. We had lots of children the same age as my son. And I used to say to him, you can play out so long as you stay together. Yeah. Don't go anywhere off on your own. Stay together. Yeah. I always used to think safety in numbers, you know. Gang of little boys, stay together. Don't go anywhere on your own. But nowadays, I mean, it is different now. You're more scared, aren't you? But there must have been creepy people, you know, when I was little, and creepy people when Irene was little. But they weren't as. I blame the internet for all this, you know, whatever. If there were creepy men, they didn't have access, did they, to all this deep web and all this whatever that they do. So if they had those kind of tendencies, they had to keep them buried, didn't they? They didn't bring them all to the surface. It's so different now, yeah. They've got access to internet, they're swapping photographs, they're doing whatever, swapping videos. I mean, there was none of that when my son was small, none of that when I was small. You know, it's bringing all these weirdies out from under a stone somewhere, isn't it? Bringing them out, you know. And like, for example, like kids wouldn't be abducted in a car because nobody had a car when I was young. The doctor had a car, you know, somebody rich had a car, but your normal man in the street didn't have a car, so there was nobody to abduct you because there was no cars, was there? You know, it's yeah, I walked to school on my own from being probably about 6. Admittedly, I used to walk to school with my little friends, but we used to walk to school. No problem, never. Never was a problem. The only reason I didn't let my son walk to school was he had to cross a main road. And they didn't, it was a main road and they didn't care. You know, I had to see him across the main road, yeah. Exactly. It's just sad that the children today can't have a childhood like we all had. Well, a certain age group had. You know, it's sad that you have to watch your kids that you don't, you know. But like for somebody like my dad, he got scared as he got older of talking to a child. You know, he got scared because, you know, he didn't want anybody thinking he was trying to abduct the child, talk to it. You know, it was natural in my day and age, or whatever. If you saw a child who'd fallen over in the street and hurt itself and there was nobody near, you would pick the child up, ask if it was okay or whatever. But my dad got scared of actually, you know, unless the mum was there, he got scared of actually talking to a child because He didn't want to be thought of like as a dirty old man, you know. And I thought it was so sad that he had to think that way, because he definitely was not that kind of man at all. And yet he was scared of being talked about or thought that he was a dirty old man talking to a child, you know. It's just awful to think that way. And I've heard of so many other men saying that, you know, they're out with their kiddies and they see somebody falling over or they see somebody crying because they've lost their mum, being actually scared to go near this child, yeah, in case you get accused of trying to abduct it, molest it. Hello, Rosie. Hello, little girl. Hello, sweetie pie. We've got a visit from Rosie. Is she supposed to be going out?
Yeah.
Rosie.
Rosie, come on.
You're going the wrong way, darling.
Rosie, come on then.
She's supposed to be going out for a wee. No, you don't. You don't even, you know, if it's a lost child, you're scared. I mean, I used to always be finding, when I worked at Asda, always finding lost kiddies that lost their mummy in the store, they're crying their eyes out and stuff. And I mean, you used to pick them up and say, look, we'll find mummy, don't worry about it. We'll go to this desk and we'll shout out for mummy to come and find you and that. You know, that's what you used to do. But nowadays, you don't know whether you'd be able to do that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, kiddies were always running off in the store. I worked at Asda Walmart, yeah. And they were always running away from their mummies. And all the aisles look alike to a small child. And they used to just cry and scream. And, you know, you'd have a quick look around a couple of aisles to see if they were in the wrong aisle or something. You said, come on, we'll look for mummy, we'll look for mummy. She's going to be here, don't worry, don't cry, you know, mummy's going to be here somewhere. But sometimes you just couldn't find their mum. Or you'd have to go to the tannoy, like, you know, the main desk, while they shout out, we've got a child here wearing a red jumper and blue pants, etc. And eventually the child mother would turn up, yeah. But as I say, you're frightened of. Yeah, I used to pick them up and take them to the service if I couldn't find their mum, yeah. You know, what else do you do? Because I used to think if I left them, who else would pick them up? Well, I was a worker. I did work for Asda. I had my green top on and everything. So I suppose I didn't look quite so suspicious with a child as like a person in the street. You know, I definitely used to take them to customer services if I couldn't find the parent. Normally, the parents would be down the next aisle. And I used to think, how can you not hear your kid? The kid was screaming fit to burst a blood vessel. And I'm like, are you so deaf you can't hear your own child screaming? You know? Oh God, I once lost Ian in Manchester city centre. Oh boy, did I panic. 1 minute he was at the side of me, the next minute he was gone. And I thought, he's with my husband? No. And I said, where's Ian? And he said, I don't know. And we looked and I said, well, you go that way, I'll go this way. And eventually we found him. He'd wandered. They used to have shops that had like, the doorways were like inside, like with the windows. He'd wandered off. He'd seen something or other. I don't know what he'd seen in a shop window. And he wandered in. And he'd gone actually into the shop. Oh boy. That was panicky. I was panicky. I'm the one who gets lost, Isella. I've got no bump of direction. I get lost wherever I go. I find myself. My son's saying, you've got Google Maps on your phone. I can't use Google Maps. All you've got to do is put where you're going, and Google Maps will find you from your destination and tell you where to go. No, it doesn't tell me how to get out the store. No. I go in one door, come out another door, and I don't know where I am. If I don't come out of the door that I went in on, like the market here at Fleetwood has got like about 3 different rooms, 3 different places, all with doors. I put my scooter outside one door, go in. So then I can't find the way out because there's about 6 different doors, all facing different directions. So I'm like, where's my scooter? Well, I don't need mirrors on pillars, Chris. I can't find my way out of a paper bag. I've got no bump of direction, no sense of direction whatsoever. If I'm going somewhere and I've turned right, and people will say to me, well, it's obvious when you're going back, you turn left. No, I'll go that way and I'll turn right. And then I'm way off beat. When I first came here, I was trying to find the market. Then I was trying to find where the pub was where we used to meet for the knit club. I tell you, I went that many ways to get to the knit club. It was, I knew most of Fleetwood by the time I got to her. And then when I found out where it was, they only changed the venue, went in a different pub. So I had to start off going in a different direction. I got lost in B&M today. Too many aisles. B&M aisles are not like that. They're like that at different angles. So I like them when they go like that, like supermarkets, aisles that are straight. I do not like shops that have aisles that go at different angles. Oh, I get lost without going in a dream, Lydia. I don't have to dream I'm lost. I get lost. Yeah. But when I was driving, I'd suddenly get about halfway home. And then all of a sudden I thought, where am I? I thought actually I was getting Alzheimer's at one time. I'm going back donkeys years ago. Because I couldn't work out where I was. Yeah. And then I'd drive a bit further on and I think, there I am. Yeah. Yeah, a friend of mine, her husband was a GP. And she thought he was going a little bit strange, a bit forgetful. But yeah, he was still managing to be a GP and everybody was fine. And then one day he didn't come home and he was like missing. She phoned the surgery and they said, oh, he set off ages ago. She thought it was a bit funny. So she got in the car and she went looking the way he would come home. And she found him sitting there. The road was blocked because there was a diversion. And he was just sitting there in the car. And he couldn't work out how to go past the diversion because he couldn't go the way home. He always went home. And that's when she knew he had a problem. So then she had to say, right, that's it. You can't go to the surgery anymore. You've got to come home. And that's when she realised how bad he was. But yeah, he'd fooled everybody and he'd managed to do his job, managed to do the prescribing, not made any mistakes or anything like that. But because he couldn't find his way home because of this diversion, he didn't know where to go. So he was just parked up. He was just sat in this street. And that's where she found him. She'd been looking for him for about an hour. And that's when she realised that his dementia had gone suddenly, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. 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 Oh, I'm lost if I don't have my phone, I must admit. Nobody ever rings me. Only hospital rings me or one of my friends rings me. But I still like to have it with me. It's security, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, it's 1:45 in the morning here, so I'm going to go to bed now and see if I can sleep after having my Fanta and my chocolate. I'll probably be wide awake all night. But I need to take me eye drops anyway, and then I need to take me painkillers for my headache. Otherwise, I won't get to sleep. And I shall see you all next week. I still probably won't have eye makeup on. I feel so scruffy without my makeup on. I don't know why. It's not Saturday night if I don't put my face on, because I've got no makeup on at all. I don't feel right. It just feels not me. I don't wear makeup all the time, don't get me wrong, but I just like to put makeup on if I'm going. I felt awful like going out for a meal without my makeup on. And, oh, whatever. I might even risk a bit of eyeshadow next week. Right, I'm going to say good night to you all. Thank you all for your company, and good night, and I shall see you all next week. So, and I'm going to move Father Christmas before Rosie gets her eyes on it. So, bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye.